FM.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
The Cowboys won a dogfight with the Seattle Seahawks last night, 41-35. And Dak Prescott said after the game, this win against the Seahawks was as important as it can be with this team moving forward.
Yeah, it was complimentary football at its finest to get a big win that's been different than most of these at home. And we can take, as Coach always says, a big chunk of confidence. We can take that into next week and just moving forward. And
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix on a Friday afternoon. Yeah. Live out at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road.
That was like right off the opening kickoff.
Dude.
You muffed that one.
Well, it's just because you were doing Sports Center. I turned my mic off. And look, I'm not in my right mind today. I mean, just to start off the show, let's see. It's 2:01. About 10:30, I was in the dentist chair getting a crown. So I'm numbed up, although it's starting to feel like it's wearing off. But
that's the worst.
But no, so it's a preventative thing because it's like, all right, you're going to need this sooner rather than later. You can take care of it now, or wait till it hurts like hell, and then get your crown that goes along with the root canal.
Okay.
To go. Right. So it's like, all right, well, because I was at the dentist a couple weeks ago, and so we got this scheduled, ready to go, but spending an hour or so at the dentist getting numbed up, and then you're sitting there like you're being waterboarded as they're in there filing things away. And I've got a great doctor, Dr. Smith, over at Smile Structure. He's a military guy, and but he treats you well because there's generally no pain with that, but you're just uncomfortable having while the dude's digging in your mouth and getting everything ready for the crown. But it's still a little, what's the word? Tingly.
Yeah. Why do dentists talk to you?
Well, what else are they going to do?
You can't talk back.
I mean, the guy's sitting there, and he's and you look up, and he's got glasses on with I don't know, binoculars on the glasses. He's seeing what you had for lunch 3 weeks ago, and what else is he going to do?
I don't know, but it's like you can't answer the guy.
Well, maybe that's why. He doesn't really want to.
One-way conversation.
It's like, hey, you're doing all right, and then you just kind of go that route.
I don't know, man. I know dentists are good folks, but I hate going to the dentist. I don't know what it is about the dentist that I just don't like. Because you had to get a couple of shots today, right, in your mouth?
Yeah.
To deaden it up.
Although I will tell you, and I'll go back. I am not a fan of going to the dentist, and I don't go as often as I should because of that fear of going to the dentist.
Right.
And, some trauma as a childhood, and I broke a jaw, and braces and all that kind of stuff. And they're like, "Hey, relax, man. I can't relax here."
Trauma during your childhood.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. When I was a kid, teenager. When I was getting braces, they had to do one of those surgeries where they break your jaw and put a spacer bar in there to spread things out, and then your jaw's wired shut. You ever had a Big Mac value meal through a blender before? Yeah, there's trauma. I don't like going to the dentist.
Well, so they knocked you out for that, though. They don't just numb you up and break your jaw.
No, it's surgery, but it's the aftermath. And did I mention the part of having your jaw wired shut? And so I'm not a regular goer of the dentist, although I found a guy that I like, and saw him a couple weeks ago. First time I'd been back to see him since COVID. And
wow.
And really, I mean, I'm impressed with, you only got one thing that could be a problem later, so let's fix it now before it becomes a major problem.
Well, that's good.
I should be better at at going to the dentist, as we all should be.
We should be.
But yeah, so that was my day.
Well, I got I got a dentist appointment later this month, but I had a little trauma today too.
Oh,
right. So we got a haircut today.
Yeah.
And the question is, the dude cuts the hair just fine. I don't have a problem with that. But I have never found a barber, stylist, whatever you want to call them, that can actually style my hair afterwards. So I walk out of there like the walk of shame with my hair's all,
What are you, Rob Thompson?
Well, yeah, I guess. But I mean, it's like the walk of shame.
Stop it, Pledge.
Yeah. So, you look like a goof walking out of there till you get in your car.
Well, what do you do in your car that makes it different?
Well, nothing in the car. I go home and then I have to rewash it and start over.
Well,
I mean, that's traumatic.
Do you realize what a diva I work with, right? Now, generally speaking, you could say, comb it this way or comb it yourself while they're there because they don't know how you fix your hair.
Well, they should.
Why? Why should they?
They're professionals.
All right.
I told the guy it goes this way, parks that way.
You see the same person every time?
Well, it's a long story.
Here we go.
It's a long story, but
we got story time music, Pledge.
Well, I went to the same person for a long time, and then she moved out to Bulverde.
Yeah.
She still does, and Maggie still goes to her, but I don't want to drive 30 minutes to go get a haircut.
So you'd rather bitch.
Well, so I find somebody. I like the way the dude cuts the hair. It's all good. But they never can. And you're walking through people, and you're kind of like,
somebody's going to recognize me looking like this. Is that what
it is? How are you? You doing all right?
I mean, take a ball cap.
I should.
I know. Rob Thompson, every time he gets a haircut, my man is going to wear a ball cap for a week.
Well, I don't have to do that because I go home and take care of it when I get there. Right, so I can style it. And I told the guy today, he goes, I need to learn how to do it. I said, whatever, dude. I said, nobody knows how to do it.
Well,
nobody.
I'm just curious because your hair hasn't changed in the 30 years that I've known you.
Right.
I mean, except for, you don't go with the frosted tips anymore. It's not as blonde as it used to be.
I should do that again. I need to. It's about time.
But in reality, I mean, it's not like your hair is complicated.
Well, it is complicated. All right, Pledge. It is complicated because I've got like 500 cowlicks, they tell me in there.
What are they called?
Cowlicks?
They're not cowlicks.
What are they?
COWLICKS.
Are they not cowlicks?
No, they're not cow. They're not licking cows.
So what do they call them?
Cowlicks. Because I've got one. Everybody kind of has some in the back of your head.
Well, you don't have anything in the back of your head.
Well, I mean, I've gotten rid of them and I cleared the field out. I mean, thanks to the Manu bald spot,
right.
But still, there's an area there. There's nothing in that field, but you get those two weeds looking like alfalfa.
Yeah.
If they don't cut it the right way.
Well, that's the thing, and then it sticks straight up or straight down or whatever it is, and
straight down's not an issue.
Well, it is an issue.
Well, you prefer it straight up?
No, I don't. I prefer it like it is now. I mean, laying down, nice and styled, and looking good.
Looking like you could jump on YouTube and be just fine because somebody's going to put us on a big screen later.
Looking good. I mean, that's exactly right.
Do we have Shelton eating in the background again today?
No, we don't.
Yeah, adjust your camera because he's going with boneless chicken wings today.
Yes,
yesterday it was pizza. Today it's the boneless wings.
We got him.
Everybody is tuning in to the YouTube channel to watch Greg Shelton eat lunch.
Well, we had lunch. You had a hot dog out here today.
I did have a hot. I needed. Typically we'll go with the fried shrimp or with the chicken wings, but after being at the dentist today, I didn't think either one of those would have been a good choice. So I went with. We're at the Roo Pub. Next door is the Angry Elephant. The Angry Elephant has the best hot dogs in San Antonio.
They really do.
And so I went with a gourmet hot dog for lunch today.
Which is nice because you can order in here in the Roo Pub off the Angry Elephant menu if you wanted to. I tried something new today. I had the I can't remember exactly what they call it, but it's a chicken breast sandwich with blue cheese sprinkles on top.
Yeah?
It was delicious.
So you had a blue cheese chicken sandwich?
That's it.
That's pretty simple,
It
right?
was delicious.
Yeah?
I'll tell you what. I like to try new things. And
Yeah.
one of these days, I'll try that wedge salad that Pledge always brags about.
Why do you lie to the people?
Well, no, I will try because I
literally,
like now. And Pledge, you can tell me this. Do they have the blue cheese crumbles on the wedge salad?
You can get it that way. It comes with it. I do not get that.
You don't like the blue cheese crumbles?
Well,
Not a
I mean,
blue
I'm not
cheese
a fan of it either. I mean, it smells like dirty feet.
Well, I had it today, so I'll be looking at you talking. And
Yeah.
you may be smelling blue cheese the whole show.
You're going to blame that as blue cheese, not dirty feet.
Well, I got shoes on. I'm just saying I got blue cheese breath going here.
Sounds like you've been sucking toes.
Well, wow. Oh, what a night.
Toe Reinego. Leo
Well, I
on
like
YouTube
porn.
wants to know what your hair product secrets are.
Leo, that would cost a lot of money, pal. We'll have to talk. And
Dude,
you give me your credit card number, and
It's
we'll be in good shape.
fire hydrant size bottle of hairspray called
Tresemme.
number 5.
No,
Didn't they
I
outlaw
like
that
number
stuff?
3.
Isn't it
No.
bad for the
That's
environment?
bad for the ozone, right? That's number 3. And so they have a number 5, but that's like just spraying Elmer's glue on your head.
You haven't done that?
No, I mean this is a little softer. It's soft to the touch.
Really? Because
Yeah.
it looks like a turtle shell.
No,
I mean,
it
does
looks-
not
it looks nice.
It looks like
Nice
that,
and coiffed.
that your guy that cuts your hair ruins his scissors every time cutting through that.
That poor guy. I tell you what, I really feel bad for him. Well, he does a hell of a job.
Yeah, he does a hell of a job, but sucks. I got to go home and fix it, is what I heard.
Well, no, he just can't style it. He cuts it fine. But
he's a cutter, not a stylist.
In the whole time I've been getting haircuts, however long that is, nobody knows how to style it. There has not been one person
See,
that has ever been able to style it.
I deal with that too, but I never see the same person twice. I open up the app at Great Clips, figure out who doesn't have much of a weight or no weight. I walk in, I walk out. I mean, $15 or 75. It doesn't matter. You can't tell the difference. So I'm not spending a lot of money on an expensive haircut.
Oh man. Well, you got to take care of your hair. It's important.
It is.
Yeah.
And take care of your teeth.
Well,
And
your
more
teeth
importantly, take care of your bartenders here at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. We're here till 6 o'clock. Game in the Pac-12 Championship game. Big game last night. Cowboys get a win against Seattle. Dak Prescott, incredible last night. We're talking about it next on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's R&R in the morning.
Monday on R&R in the morning, we're joined by ESPN NFL insider Todd Archer at 7:30, and the college football playoff is set. Who's going in and who's going home?
Crazy weekend of football, and NFL really didn't play a role but for the 49ers at Philadelphia. Man, cannot wait. The party starts at 6.
It's your wake-up call. R&R in the morning, 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This year, Staples will not be celebrating the holidays. Instead, we're celebrating the holiday deals with amazing savings for the holiday season. Save 60% on custom holiday cards, save 60% on custom invitations, and save 60% on custom photo gifts like mugs and calendars. During Staples holiday deals, it's not about the ho, ho, ho. It's about saving do, do, do. Save 60% on custom cards, invitations, and photo gifts today at Staples. Ends 12/2. Visit staples.com/print for more details.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie cutter portfolios?
No, we tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our client's best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured, so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly, different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Rizumkizum of Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
This is Chris Canepa with Connecticut and San Antonio in the Hill Country. Listen to this message I received.
First message.
Hi, Chris. This is Santa Claus. Hey, I'm calling to give you a heads up. Last Christmas, so many people asked me for a Connecticut water softener, but getting all those Connecticut units in and out of the sleigh, up and down the chimneys, well, it's not so good on my back. So I'm going to forward all those Connecticut wish lists directly to you. Here's Mrs. Claus.
Yes, Chris, thanks again for installing our Connecticut. I just love how soft my man's beard is, and my skin feels silky smooth, even here at the North Pole.
So if it's okay with you, I'll handle the toys, you handle the water softeners. Thanks, Chris. By the way, the elves just love your jingle.
Call 656 Pure Connecticut.
From all of us at Connecticut, Merry Christmas.
Oh, and Chris, I'm not a fan of the gluten-free cookies. Bye-bye.
Connecticut.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
If you're hit by a car, truck, or commercial vehicle, you need help with vehicle repairs, car rental, medical care, Davis Law Firm can help get your life back on track. For over 25 years, we have secured important verdicts and settlements for our clients, some in the millions of dollars. I'm Jeff Davis. If you were in a car or truck wreck or hit by a commercial vehicle, call the Fours right now. Call me at 444-4444. You got it. There's only one number to remember, and that's 4. Attorney consultation by appointment only. Davis Law Firm, San Antonio. Davis Law Firm is a proud official partner, personal injury attorney of the San Antonio Spurs.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
The Jim Rome Show, weekdays at noon.
I love San Antonio, man. I love it.
On 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Belt-tie snap. Prescott with plenty of time. Locks it in zone. Jake Ferguson. Covered by Jamal Adams, but it doesn't matter. Fergie into the end zone, and Dallas takes the lead in the fourth.
Thought we were going to hear a little Fergalicious there for one Joe Ryan-Eggle. The Cowboys Radio Network. Brad Sham misses just his second game of his career.
Yeah, I was worried about him because we left Perry's last night, and on my way just to get to the house, I'm listening to the radio, and there was no Brad Sham. What happened?
He fell.
He fell.
And had to go to the hospital to get checked out.
Oh, wow.
Says he's going to be good to go next week against Philadelphia. So,
going to play hurt.
Last game that he missed, food poisoning in 1983. And
wow.
He doesn't recommend either.
Well, no, I've had food poisoning. Don't want to do that.
He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star out at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. We spent a lot of time on yesterday's show talking about a dogfight kind of game for the Dallas Cowboys. The fact that they haven't really had one of those that they have won. They've beaten a bunch of bad teams, and Seattle needed it more. Maybe wanted it more, knowing the gauntlet they have coming up, so they could keep their playoff hopes alive. Seattle played great. What was impressive last night was the play of Dak Prescott. For all of you that are iffy on whether or not he should be in the MVP conversation, Dak Prescott last night carried that team when Dan Quinn's great defense was getting torched by his former boss and Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll's a hell of a coach.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy knows what he's doing. Not only Pete Carroll, but Geno Smith. I mean, they were just they were having their way with the Cowboys, especially in that first half. Look, I'm going to say it. This may shock everybody, but Dak Prescott played a great game last night. The defense did not show up. And so it reminded me of the Cowboys of old, where you had to just go out and outscore the opposition. And that's basically what the Cowboys had to do last night. They had to outscore the Seahawks. They did it. The defense steps up late, and we'll give them that. They did come to play in that fourth quarter. So that was good to see. But I just think that Dak got it done. He put the Cowboys on his shoulders, and he took care of business last night. And it was a great football game first and foremost, and a great performance by Dak Prescott.
When you look at what we saw last night, and again, you know, that defense did get those fourth down stops in the fourth quarter when it mattered. Deron Bland, dude, on the day you win Player of the Month, you got torched. I mean, I think they said, "Hey, can we recall that email?" But I mean, he still had a big interception and it has a short memory. But that defense wasn't very good last night.
No.
And I don't care if it was their third game in 12 days. Every team goes through that. Sure, they might be a little bit tired. But what were we concerned about yesterday? Is this a Cowboys team that is going to overlook Seattle because they're looking ahead to Philadelphia? And at the beginning of the game, it kind of felt that way. And Mike McCarthy last night. Now, Mike McCarthy, the play caller, I thought was brilliant. Mike McCarthy, the head coach, I wanted to slap a couple of times with his clock management at the end of the first half and at the end of the game. I mean, unless he had the line, and I know he didn't, but as I say this, and I even tweeted out, I mean, third down, minute whatever to play, and you throw an incomplete pass on a low percentage pass play. You run it. You take 40 seconds off the clock, you kick the field goal, you're up 6. Unless you have the 9.5, you didn't need the touchdown there. Unless you, Mike McCarthy, did not trust your defense to get a stop.
Why
with a
would
minute
you?
And a half to go.
Why would you trust that defense last night? I wouldn't have. I mean, why not go for it there? Look, worst case scenario, what you did, you saved Seattle a lot of time.
Yeah.
That's what you did, and they were moving the football. So I just don't know. Pete Carroll or whoever was calling the plays, and I think Pete wanted to, but because he'd go up to his offensive coordinator every now and then and say, hey, let's whisper in his ear. But I wasn't sure exactly what they were doing. Look, they knew damn good and well that pass rush is coming. And yet it seems like Geno Smith was looking for the home run ball every time he dropped back. Throw it out there quick and just pick up 4, 5, 6 yards at a time.
Well, I mean, he was getting rid of the ball in 2.5 seconds. I mean, he had pressured, according to the Next Gen stats, 55% or so of the plays, but he was getting rid of it faster than he ever has in his career, getting rid of the ball. They never got home with sacks, but there was a lot of pressures and that forced some bad passes, especially late. And I don't know, probably a good idea to block number 11 on the fourth down play. Although listening to Bart Scott this morning, he thinks that was by design and a brilliant design, but DeMarcus Lawrence messed up and actually tripped into a really good defensive play. However you get it done, The Cowboys needed a dogfight game like that, and they won. And they won the game because of the play of Dak Prescott. Threw for 299 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Had a couple of really strong runs as well in that game. Pollard ran the ball pretty well. Mike McCarthy, as the play caller, dialed in. Even Dan Orlovsky, who is a noted critic of one Dak Prescott, tweeted out that I'll read you the tweet from Dan Orlovsky just so I don't misquote it at all. That's about a spotless, dialed-in, clean, a quarterback and play caller game that we have had in the NFL this season that I just watched from Dak and Mike McCarthy. That quarterback play caller duo can win a Super Bowl.
Well, again, we'll see. I know everybody's, fawning all over, slobbering all over Dak.
Here we go.
And, well, they should. He's been playing well. He played great last night. However, last time I checked the schedule, we got a gauntlet we're about to go through. All right, let's see how Dak does going through that gauntlet, and then we'll decide. All right, then we'll decide.
Look, Dak has had plenty of criticism, and right now he's getting some praise. And with the gauntlet coming up, depending on how he plays is going to depend on what the narrative is. But Dak Prescott said last night he controls that narrative.
No difference when they're hating me. And calling for me to my position. Honestly, I'm blessed. I'm super blessed, and I think about that each and every day that I wake up. I'm grateful for that opportunity to do that, and I go and attack the day that I understand nobody's opinion defines me, and that's the great part about life, and that's the great opportunity that we all have. That people can say whatever they want, but I have the pen, I have the paper, and I'm the one writing. So. Because I'm playing as well as I am now, doesn't mean that I'm going to stop, doesn't mean I'm going to listen to them now. Appreciate them, but I don't care about their opinions right now any more than I did when they said that, when they're calling for my spot. So, as I said, I'm blessed. This last year has been a reflection of that. A lot of great things have happened in my life, and they're going to continue to happen in my life because of my mindset and where I put the value of life.
And when you think about, all right, so he's going to be a dad. He's had some changes there, and he's about to be an even richer man than he is. The way he is playing right now, Mike Tannenbaum said this morning on Get Up that Dak is going to become the highest paid player in the NFL this offseason with his contract coming up.
Well, and I wouldn't be surprised, and he's playing well at the right time. Look, my deal is, and we all have short memories. Because you look back, with the exception of last year where Dak was throwing interceptions all over the place, a good regular season quarterback. He always has been. This is nothing new. Maybe he's playing a little bit better this year than he has in the past, but this is nothing new. Dak Prescott is a great regular season quarterback. Let me see you in the playoffs get it done. And then we can talk about great quarterbacks and MVPs and all the other things that are coming along with it. Does Dak deserve some credit and some flowers? Yes, he does. And I'm giving them to him. But again, this is nothing new. This is nothing new. Just go back a couple of years.
Oh, I know.
Dak plays well in the regular season.
But again, though, I mean, Dak gets judged so differently than every other quarterback that can be in a great stretch. All right, you're playing great now, but and we all need to see it. I am, as the Dak supporter of San Antonio Sports Star, I'm also on record as saying, dude, I've seen great regular season play. I need to see great play in the postseason. And I think last night was a great example of what this Cowboys team can be, because we know the defense is better than what they displayed last night. And there were some games where, the defense is getting shutouts. You're blowing out these bad teams, and Dak is putting up big numbers against bad teams. And you go, all right, on a night like last night, Dak had to be great for the Cowboys to get a win. And he was great, and the Cowboys got a win.
Yes, and you get no argument from me here. However, he's done this before. This has happened before. Dak has done this, and we're all talking the same way. Dak, well, he's playing great. Cowboys 12-5 records 2 times in a row. That's fantastic. Get it done in the postseason, and then you'll get that monkey off your back. Then people won't criticize you as much. But, I mean, for Tannenbaum, and it is probably going to happen, probably is, he's going to be the highest paid player in the NFL. What happens if they get beat in the first round of the playoffs? See, it doesn't matter because he's going to get it anyway. But if you're Jerry Jones and you don't see improvement in the playoffs, I mean, you got to start thinking about the future, don't you?
I mean, no. And here's why. You heard Jerry Jones on 105.3 The Fan this morning saying he is the best. He called him like the Pied Piper from player to coach that he's been around. And look, that includes Hall of Famers. And when you look at the control that Dak has had of this offense lately and this season, and, it was clunky early on. He and Mike McCarthy are on the same page. And you've got a defense to complement that offense. And you hear McCarthy often talk about complementary football. So, yes, we do need to see it in the postseason. And we're looking at year 8. But I can tell you, Jerry right now is looking at it as this is year 1 of Mike McCarthy as the play caller, Dak Prescott as the quarterback of this current version of what he is about to pay for when it gives Dak Prescott that new contract. So, yeah, the past, yeah, it's there and it's on the resume. But if you're Jerry Jones and you're about to sign that contract, look what we're doing right here in year 1 where things are clunky. And we talk about how clunky things are. Here we go. We've been talking about it. Here we go was born out of clunkiness during OTAs. We'll explain next on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, Van Smack, you sound great in San Antonio.
It's the Jim Rome Show.
Props to 94.1, bringing back the Hall of Famer.
Weekdays at noon on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey folks, Steve Brent's here at beautiful Winans Creek Ranch in Bandera, inviting you to our holiday land sale event going on right now. It's the best time of the year to get an incredible deal on a gorgeous 10 to 15 acre luxury ranch home site here at Winans Creek. Take advantage of deep discounts and terrific bank and special below market seller financing. Plus, ask us about our closing cost bonus offers, saving you even more during our sale. Winans Creek features secluded private settings, spectacular 30-mile views, a gorgeous creekfront park, as well as paved roads, high-speed internet, electric, and more. Plus, Winans qualifies for low ag exempt taxes. The rush of the holidays will be here soon, but there's still time to get a great deal on your 10 to 15 acre luxury ranch home site you've always dreamed of. So come out and see me today at Winans Creek Ranch, and we'll help put together an incredible deal that will make your holidays bright. Give us a call at 866-952-6323 or go to WinansCreekRanch.com.
At Granger, we're for the ones who specialize and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry, with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help, so you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call, clickgranger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Temperatures are low, but demand is high. You need Indeed. Their all-in-one platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Do you have a game plan for COVID-19? Prescription oral treatments must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms, even if mild. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Visit treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
El Guacamole Mexican Grill is serving up your favorite Mexican dish. Visit them today at 25020 Blanco or call 210-499-5364 to place your order. Hot, fresh, made-to-order Mexican dishes. El Guacamole Mexican Grill.
My name is Nodge. I'm gonna rap you a tune. I work at a place called Quarter Moon.
It's not that kind of rap. Folks, all of us at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC invite you to donate to Rappin' with Jack. If you'd like to donate a new toy or needed item, simply give it to any of our Quarter Moon trucks or vans you see around town, or stop by our office. For directions, visit quartermoonplumbing.com, 210-651-5899. Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC.
License number M16004, DACLA 000743458.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149. Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
We take whiskey seriously. Taste the difference of a hand-selected bourbon at your local lodge, like the Twin Peaks Buffalo Trace Barrel Select.
So I have been in the operating room most of my career, watching people have orthopedic surgery, watching people get knees replaced, hips replaced, shoulders fixed, and I knew there had to be a better way.
That's Dr. Daniel Zuckerman, a medical director for QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in non-invasive regenerative treatments for pain relief.
I see so many people who could have been helped before they got to the operating room if only they had known about regenerative medicine.
QC Kinetics, a natural alternative that uses your body's own healing properties to help restore and repair damaged joint tissue, providing long-lasting relief without drugs, surgery, or downtime.
Well, it feels great when I do get to see somebody who we help, who I know I kept out of the operating room. It's amazing how we change people's lives without surgery.
Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318.
It's almost that time. Home for the holidays. Get your mortgage or rent paid for an entire year. Increase your chance of winning by also getting your friends entered socially. Make this holiday season the best ever. Just visit sasportstar.com and get signed up. One national winner could win up to $18,000 and pay their rent or mortgage in 2024. Official rules and sign up at sasportstar.com.
Here we go! Here we go!
Yeah. Cooper blue when I fall through. A lot do not like us. We can take it to the next spot. They yelling like Prescott. Everybody like. There ain't no breaks, no rest stop. We trying to get your head chopped. The whole club yelling. Everybody.
Here we go. I mean, it's become such a craze since one Joe Reinagle started bitching about it. And then everybody seemed to notice, oh, yeah, he does. Here we go. And it's become a big topic. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star, live out at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. It's Friday. Come have a drink with us here.
Absolutely.
And get here before 5. Because at 5 o'clock,
here we go.
We got Cowboys, Eagles tickets that we are going to give away. Now, we haven't really figured out how we're going to do this yet.
Not yet.
We're going to take phone calls.
Sure.
And if you're here, we might put you on here.
I think we will.
We've got some trivia questions for you. So if you're standing here, you're not going to get a busy signal. You just got a line.
You're going to get in.
And I might go every other one, like take a phone call, talk to somebody here.
Right.
You know, because these aren't easy questions. I got to admit, they're not easy questions.
Well, they're not. I mean, you were firing a couple at me. I had no clue at some of these, but that's the way it should be. You're talking about the Cowboys, the Eagles. You're talking about a game that if things work out the way I think they're going to, I think San Francisco wins this week. That game could actually be for the tie, right, for the NFC East as we move forward, and then who knows what happens. So it's going to be a huge game, and wouldn't you want to be there?
Cowboys, Eagles tickets. We will give those away at 5 o'clock today. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. If you want to call in and talk about the Cowboys' big win last night over those Seattle Sea Chickens, you can tweet us at Joe Reinagle 210, at Jason Minix. If you're watching on YouTube, you can comment there. Now, here we go. Last night after the game, player of the game, Dak Prescott, goes on the prime set. And before they let him go, after they gave him a girl dad gift, they asked him, like, Dak, here we go. Where did that come from, man?
I got to ask a question. I'm sorry. I've been getting texts all night because I don't know the answer. Maybe these guys already know.
the cadence of the snap. Here we go. Where does that come from? And I can't get it out of my head, by the way. Now, here we go all night.
Yeah, there's a song about it now. It's taken off. Really, we just wanted to make sure that we're all getting off on the same, use the cadence to our ability. And the linemen wanted a little something before, I guess, for me, really, it's to tell them, hey, stop the communicating. Here we go.
Those linemen always requesting.
Was it you that made it up, or was it McCarthy, or was it?
I think it was the coaches.
Here we go.
I think it was the coaches. Yeah, early in the offseason,
awesome.
and
sounds good.
They're getting together, and I'm like, we're starting off like this. It's going to be a long offseason.
Okay, then do a walk-off cadence to get us out of here.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go.
Here we go.
So when he says he thinks it's the coaches, does he not know?
He doesn't know.
Well, how does he not know?
Look.
What, does somebody write him a note, slip it under his door? Hey, Dak, here's what we're going to start saying.
Well, I think he wants to give proper credit, and he doesn't know which coach. Hell, that might have been one of the offensive linemen. Since the main communicator, the way I understand it, of the offensive line is Zach Martin. But if they were, and go back early in the year, and even when we were in Oxnard at training camp, Mike McCarthy talked about how they changed up everything they did with the offensive line with the way they communicate and block, which I thought was kind of weird. But I don't know enough about offensive line play. But it must have been such a cluster bomb that they were struggling even in the OTA portions. And so the here we go is shut up. We're about to snap the ball and run the play. And so maybe an offensive lineman came up with it. Dak isn't sure. I'm sure one of the coaches said, all right, here's what we're going to do. When you're ready, you want to, you're watching the play clock. You're watching the defense. You're making the adjustments. When you're ready, here we go. Let's everybody know we're about to snap the ball.
Well, what about the different, tones of voice that he does?
Well, they've added stuff to it.
Well, perhaps they have. I don't know. But, there were there are a lot of people talking about it now, and some people are frustrated with it and annoyed by it, and others like it a lot. So I'm kind of when I first really understood or was hearing that, it was like, dude, shut up. But I did the same thing with Peyton Manning, too, with that whole Omaha thing. So, I guess it's just something that it is. But now it doesn't bother me as much as it did then.
Well, and I think some of it, too, is, with microphones on the field, you're going to pick things up. But there is so much said consistency. It's just different than hut, 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 yellow, yellow, kill, kill. All those different things that we've always heard. It's just here we go is just so different.
It is different, and the way he says it is different, and I'm glad we got an explanation, and we don't have to wait till next Friday for Rob and Rudy to ask that question.
Although I want some clarification now. So we do have to wait for Rob and Rudy. We'll ask Stephen Jones next Thursday, but...
You think Stephen knows?
No.
He doesn't know. Big game next week, though. But before we get to that point, the Cowboys just get to sit back in the lazy boy this weekend and watch Philly and San Fran go at it.
Absolutely, they do. And again, they get the weekend off. Mike McCarthy said travel safe. I guess he knows a lot of guys are getting out of town on this mini bye. We'll see you Monday, kind of is what he told the guys last night, because they did. That was a great win and a much-needed game for the Cowboys, where they're in a dogfight, they don't play their best football, and they're able to get away with a win. And you need games like that. But Mike McCarthy last night, brilliant as a play caller, clock management. I don't know what the hell he was thinking. Jonathan wants to talk about that on the Blitz. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Jonathan, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, Joe? What's going on, Jason? How y'all doing, man?
What's up, man?
Yeah, the whole
welcome.
Just real quick on the whole Dak. Here we go. I have my little boy running around the house saying "Here we go" all the time, man.
Is it driving you crazy or what?
No, it's grown on me. I'm starting to say it myself. But the whole red zone offense is still a concern for me. You have to score no matter what, whether it's 3 or 7 points. I get it. You'll take the 3, but good teams will beat you if you take the 3 against 49ers and the Eagles. The game management is also a concern with Mike McCarthy. It makes no sense to me not to run the ball at the end of the game. I just want y'all's take on that.
I think at the end of the game, jokingly, if he had the 9.5, he needed that touchdown to cover. But I think it was a sign that he doesn't trust his defense, because a field goal there, a touchdown by Seattle, they still win the game. I would have rather him run the ball, take 40 more seconds off the clock, kick the field goal, than throw an incomplete pass with Seattle out of timeouts. So is that a signal that he didn't trust his defense? And the way they were playing, I mean, you look at Seattle yesterday, was 4 of 5 in the red zone, 4 of 4 on goal-to-goal efficiency. The Cowboys were 4 of 8 in the red zone. They were 2 of 4 in goal-to-goal situations.
I don't know. If I'm McCarthy, I might have been looking back at all the penalty flags that were thrown for pass interference or holding, and maybe trying to get lucky, because he had CeeDee Lamb one-on-one with the Seattle defender, who did a great job of coverage there, though, just completely turning his back on that. And Dak threw the football where it was either going to be caught or it was out of the end zone. But I mean, sincerely, the amount of penalties last night, and I'm not blaming either side. I'm not saying the officials were one-sided or the other. I don't think they were. I just think that they were very ticky-tack in a lot of the things that we did. Kirk Herbstreit made a couple of comments. I know even the official, I don't know who it is there for Prime, there were a couple of calls that were not overturned that he thought were bad calls.
Look.
It was, I don't want to go see 19 penalty flags thrown for 257 yards.
10 penalties, 130 yards for Seattle, 9 penalties, 127 for Dallas. And Al Michaels is at an age where he doesn't have enough time to see that much of the referee on his television.
Fire the pass, illegal contact, defense number 22. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yeah, this one is certainly a penalty. There's been some in the kind of the gray area. He stops there, then he turns and goes, and there's grabbing on, and pretty obvious. Ball's not in the air yet. It would have been interference. Instead, it's defensive holding and 5 yards and another first down. What is that you say? Is that the third or fourth?
Yeah, fourth.
Yeah.
On this round.
Yeah, this round.
We're going to take the rest of the night off and let Cleek Blakeman call the game. You buying?
Sure. He and Terry can get to the bottom.
Absolutely.
And there it was, Al Michaels making a snide comment about the lead official, calling the rest of the game, because it got to the point, and there was one drive, and I think it was in the third quarter. The Cowboys were down by 8, I think, at the point, and there must have been 3 or 4 consecutive either holding, defensive holding, or pass interference calls against Seattle. And it was just like, let them play football.
And ticky-tack. And there were a couple where you went, oh, they got away with that one. A couple I was screaming, that's not a penalty. But the way they were calling it last night, it was. But that's not what the NFL wants. Mike McCarthy talked last night about the penalties that were called.
Definitely not a bright spot of the performance. But, yeah, it's, I think like anything, you got to keep working at it. And, the emotional discipline and the detail of it is something we need to be better at, and you just got to keep coaching it and demanding it. And it's from all of us. So, I mean, it's a continuous, message that you're really always going through, even when you're not going through the numbers that we have right now. Nobody likes it, and so we'll just continue to work on it.
I guess. And, of course, he's talking about his team committing 9 penalties, apparently. Some of those calls, and on both sides, and this is not a thing that the officials sided with one team or the other, because I don't think they did. I think it was equally bad on both sides. But, I mean, technically, yes, there were penalties. Technically, yes, you could call it. But, I mean, there was one pass interference called on CeeDee Lamb that was like, really?
Yeah, his hand was on the shoulder.
You gotta be kidding me.
But I don't know that it kept him from catching the ball. But again, I and in real time, you see the contact, and you're those refs. But I mean, Seattle fans can't be saying today the refs cost us the game.
No.
And if the Cowboys would have lost, because there were just too many flags all over the place, they need to clean that up. But referees need to have a little bit more discretion as well, because they don't call every game like that. And I think that's what's frustrating. But what I do appreciate, though, about those officials last night, as bad as I thought they were, they called the game in the first quarter the same in the fourth quarter. If it was a penalty early, it was a penalty late. They at least stayed consistent, and they didn't go, oh, well, let them play in the fourth quarter. And I mean, as a fan, that's kind of what you hope for with your officials, right?
Oh, I guess so. And it's one way to look at it. But every time, it seemed like there for a while on every single play, I mean, there was a flag.
Yeah.
And I was surprised, honestly, in the play that we were just talking about, instead of running the football, McCarthy and Dak, they try to get it up there to CeeDee Lamb. I was looking. First thing I'm looking for is the yellow flag. And somehow, some way that's going to be pass interference or holding or something. And fortunately, it wasn't. But, I mean, it was to the point where it was just outrageous and ridiculous. And
so I mean, on YouTube, Steve says, I'm more worried about the missing person and no one is looking for. Where is Michael Gallup?
That's a good point.
I mean, Michael Gallup has had a couple of bright spots this year, but he's been MIA all season. I mean, I think the important thing, what you're seeing with the Cowboys offense, is the guys that are getting involved. I mean, CeeDee Lamb had 17 targets last night. Ferguson had 8. Cooks had 4 targets, and he caught all 4 passes. Pollard was targeted 4 times. Michael Gallup only was targeted 1 time last night. Same with Turpin, had 3 targets, 1 catch for 10 yards. But it's about who's getting open. And CeeDee Lamb is playing like a number 1 wide receiver, although huge drop on 4th down. And there was a perfect pass into a tight window into the end zone that went through CeeDee's hands. Now, pass was a little behind, but the only place Dak could put that ball, and it hit his hands. So, I mean, CeeDee Lamb could have had a couple more catches, one for a first down on a big 4th down try, the other one for a touchdown. Hell, Tony Pollard had one hit him in the face mask. I mean, Dak has just been so dialed in. And if Gallup isn't the guy getting open, he's MIA. He's MIA.
Well, you see what Dak's doing, right? I mean, and Dak's always been this. He's always liked the tight end. He's developing a relationship now with Jake Ferguson, and Ferguson's proving that he's reliable. That catch he made for that go-ahead touchdown was incredible. I thought it wasn't that great of a pass. It was a good catch out of the air. And the other time he hurdled the defender, and he got pounded after he did that. But it's good to see that Jake Ferguson becoming Dak's safety blanket or security blanket, the way that Dalton, the way that Jason Witten was before that. And because that's the way the Cowboys have typically played football. But Dak's got his favorites. Dak knows who he can rely on and trust. And obviously Michael Gallup's not one of those guys.
No, and even Devin Murphy on YouTube says Gallup needs to go. Time to unload that contract. I would have imagined that is what they have to do. So I don't know. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm reading on YouTube, we're having issues on 94.1. So I'm glad you came over here to YouTube. You can also listen at sasportstar.com. I have no idea what's going on. I guess when Greg finishes his lunch, we might get to work on that. Maybe. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. It's the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, live out at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road.
Hey, have you been accused of a crime? I hope not, but if you have been, you need somebody that's going to protect your innocence, a good legal team. And that legal team I have for you is the LaHood Norton Law Group, made up of former prosecutors turned criminal defense attorneys that can help you stay a step ahead of your legal program. Look, they know both sides of the criminal justice system. They handle all criminal cases, state or federal. The LaHood Norton Law Group offers representation for all criminal allegations, including DWI, aggravated assault, drug charges, probation violations, and many others. Look, if you need legal help, you need the LaHood Norton Law Group on your side. I've known Nico LaHood for a long, long time, and if I'm in trouble, he's the first guy that I'm going to call. I trust him. You can as well. Call for a free consultation, 210-797-7700. That's 210-797-7700. Sooner you make that call after you've been accused, the better. Give them a call, 210-797-7700, or online at lahoodnorton.com.
It's the Awesome Tickets Pro Football Pick'em Challenge on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your shot at $50,000 nationally, while weekly winners locally get a $50 gift card to Five Oaks Ace Hardware on Thousand Oaks. At the end of the season, locally, the best overall record wins the San Antonio Grand Prize of $1,000 worth of tickets to any event from Awesome Tickets. Sign up today at sasportstar.com.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Life moves fast. No one has time for a car, truck wreck, or commercial vehicle accident. At Davis Law Firm, we get it. When you call the force, you don't have to worry about insulting offers from insurance adjusters, property damage, or car rental. With over 25 years experience, we have secured important verdicts and settlements, some in the millions of dollars. I'm Jeff Davis. If you were in a car, truck wreck, or hit by a commercial vehicle, call me at 444-4444. You got it. There's only one number to remember. 4. Attorney consultation by appointment only. Davis Law Firm, San Antonio. Davis Law Firm is a proud official partner, personal injury attorney of the San Antonio Spurs.
Looking to switch your phone service? Check out Boost Infinite Wireless. Its new technology switches between its own network and the other top 2 networks to find the best quality calls and data for you anywhere, anytime. And you can get a low-priced, unlimited wireless plan that gives you a new iPhone every year. So switch today. Call 855-55-BOOST. That's 1-855-55-BOOST. Visit boostinfinite.com. That's boostinfinite.com, or go to amazon.com and search for Boost iPhone 15. See boostinfinite.com for terms and conditions.
Dell's Cyber Monday event is their biggest sale of the year. Shop limited time deals on laptops like the stylish, innovative XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Plus, save big on ultra-sharp monitors and top brand accessories. It's the perfect time to upgrade any home, business, or gaming setup powered by Intel Core processors. Shop now at Dell.com/deals to take advantage of huge savings and free shipping. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
The holiday season is right around the corner, so give the gift that's hard to wrap but easy to give. Give them a Stihl. With powerful trimmers, blowers, and chainsaws to place under the tree, the Stihl Holiday Gift Guide has something for everyone. Save $30 on the GTA 26 battery-powered garden pruner. Visit your local Stihl dealer or go to stihlusa.com/gift guide. Real Stihl. Find yours. Now $149.99 was $179.99 MSRP. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
I feel like I'm constantly cleaning hair off my bathroom floor. At least my Swiffer sweeper makes it easy. Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths have ultra-thick pads to trap and lock hairs, like a hair magnet. And when I'm finished cleaning up my hair, Sweeper takes care of his too. Now the hair is gone, all thanks to Swiffer. Try Swiffer Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths. I promise you'll love them or your money back. And also try Swiffer Sweeper Wet to make quick work of tough, sticky messes.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, Don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at gawon'twait.com. That's gawon'twait.com.
They're local, they're San Antonio, and they know sports. They're R&R in the morning, KTFM Floresville, and SASportsStar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Spurs are back at it tonight after a tough loss at home last night. Spurs are in New Orleans to take on the Pelicans, but they'll have to do it without Victor Wembanyama. He's going to sit out tonight's game with hip soreness. By the way, tip-off from New Orleans is set for 7 o'clock. College Football Conference Championship games begin tonight with the Pac-12. Oregon taking on Washington. You can listen to that game right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This Sports Center update is brought to you by Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 100% satisfaction guarantee.
You know, you're doing all right. All right.
My hair's all.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Out at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. Championship weekend in college football this weekend, including tonight's big game between Washington and Oregon. Watch it here at the Roo. Listen to it on 94.1 FM.
I think tonight's game and Alabama-Georgia, the two games that I'm really looking forward to, because quite frankly, I don't think Texas is going to have a problem. I think Michigan rolls Iowa, and then maybe Louisville, Florida State. But this one tonight, I'm really excited about.
Well, I mean, the Longhorn fan in me says, all right, got to root for Washington tonight.
I'm going to take a 6-pack off of Rudy J.
Yeah, you
little
are.
Flight by Yingling.
I don't know why you didn't go with a 12-pack or a case.
Well, I feel
dude,
bad for
he
the guy.
likes to bet big.
He's already going to lose his house betting on the Spurs. So, I mean, geez.
At some point, he might wash our cars.
He might do
there's
that.
all kinds of stuff going on behind the scenes. But, yeah, you look at the college football weekend. Come hang out with us here at the Roo. 5 o'clock today, we are giving away tickets to next week's Dallas Cowboys Philadelphia Eagles game.
That's going to be exciting, and it could be, for big money as far as what's at stake, depending on what happens with Philadelphia and San Francisco this weekend. So, 5 o'clock today, we're going to give those tickets away. So, stay tuned.
Yeah, and we always like to go behind the curtain. There's no secrets around here. Apparently, they're doing some work at our transmission site. And so that's why sometimes, we might disappear for a little while. And we're told if we disappear, it will be for very short time. I don't know. I just imagine, like an old school operator, unplug here and then plug in over here kind of thing. I have no idea what the hell they're doing over there. I don't want to know what they're doing over there. But if we disappear on 94.1, don't go anywhere. We're told we'll be back extremely quickly. In the meantime, we're on YouTube. We're online at sasportstar.com, but that's what's going on. They're doing some work at the transmitter site.
Or you can just come out here to the Roo Pub and be our live audience.
Yeah.
And we got a few folks here. You can be a live audience.
You
can listen
boo us.
that
Pop
way.
will put a stop to that.
That's exactly right.
Actually, I don't know if Pop
that hurts
would stop.
my feelings.
I don't know
okay?
if Pop would stop anybody from booing us. But that dude, he would put a stop to that.
Yes, he would.
Andrew Monaco.
That's
Andrew
right.
Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, will join us in about 15 minutes. But right now, let's do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
It is transfer portal season. Former UIW Cardinal Cam Ward at Washington State has announced he's not staying in Pullman, Washington, but he hasn't said what he's going to do. He's leaning pro. He's going to evaluate his pro prospects. At the same time, evaluate what offers he could get in the portal. You talk about having the best of both worlds. he is leaning pro, but he's going to see what offers he gets to stay in college because he's got a year of eligibility as a grad transfer. So imagine, there's reports out there that the kid has 10 different, at least $1 million offers. And you heard Matt Rule the other day say it's going to take between $1 and $2 million to get a quality quarterback in the portal. So you weigh your options. Do I go pro or do I go to college for another year for at least $1 million?
Well, I mean, that's pretty easy, right? I mean, I know he's probably been talking to people about where he may go in the draft. Should he go that way? Maybe he waits till after the combine. I don't know if he can wait that long. I'm not sure. But, I mean, all of those things have got to play into it. Where is he going to go in the draft? Is he a first-round guy? Then you probably go to the draft. If not, maybe you stick around college for a while.
Just in talking to his dad recently, last year he went through the draft grading process and they told him what he needed to work on. And he was a draftable player last year, but later rounds. This year, the rules have changed a little bit when it comes to quarterbacks getting drafted. And this applies to Cam and all of these different guys, with 3 quarterbacks eligible for an active roster on game day because your practice squad guys eligible. And with the number of quarterbacks that have been hurt the last couple of years, they're expecting over 20 quarterbacks to be drafted this year because there's more of the idea of draft and develop and having that third guy available since they could be active. So expect a little bit more run on quarterbacks this year. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
I think Cam Ward is a guy that can be successful in the NFL. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
He's got a big arm. And, I think his future looks bright in the NFL. So we'll see what happens. And obviously we wish him the best no matter what he does. Although Texas A&M, one of those schools apparently that's on that list of 10. So that would be good for the Aggies.
It would. Well, Ohio State is on that list. I mean, there's a lot of places on that list. I've just, having watched Cam since he stepped foot on campus and seeing where he's at now and knowing Cam and knowing his family, I'm just excited for the kid. That's pretty awesome. And, I don't know. Did you see the video Tyreek Hill doing a podcast with RG3? He's not anybody's side chick. He felt like he was the side chick to Travis Kelce in Kansas City.
Oh, poor guy.
I mean, but he does have a heart.
He does.
Tyreek Hill.
Yes.
He does. I mean, and I don't understand the NFL.
It's the most ridiculous story I've ever heard of, Jason.
It really is.
It is. This guy, Tyreek Hill, when he scored a touchdown, he did a flip, right? He always does a flip. Well, there was a guy who, media credentialed guy, that just, you could see him in the background just taking a picture. Well, the NFL stripped his credentials.
Yeah.
So Tyreek Hill says, you know what? That's ridiculous. Can't believe that happened. He's going to cover that dude's salary now for the remainder of the year.
When I think about the NFL and you think about what happened there, unless the NFL determined, and I don't believe that they did, that it was a pre-planned, hey, if I score, be rolling, I'm going to take your phone and I'm going to do this.
Right.
It all looked like it was in the moment. What is that guy supposed to do? No. I mean, it's not like Tyreek is stealing your phone. It's not like, you're sitting somewhere and somebody walks by and grabs your phone and you reach to grab it back. It's not like he was getting pickpocketed. I mean, it's an NFL game and Tyreek Hill wants your phone. You give it to him.
I have to believe that the NFL will come to their senses and say, hey, we made a mistake and we're going to fix it and give him his credential back. But in the meantime, he's not going to be losing any money because Tyreek Hill's going to pay his salary. I thought that was very cool.
Yeah. Amazon last night, if you were watching the Cowboys-Eagles game last night, and you were, and they're promoting next week's thriller between Patriots and Pittsburgh. They put up a picture of Bill Belichick because there's not a single player on the Patriots that you can isolate.
Unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen that happen. And it just looked goofy as hell, didn't it? You got Bill Belichick on the left, and I guess it was Watt on the right.
Well, you can't feature a quarterback because they don't know who it's going to be.
Well, it's Bailey Zappi right now. I think Belichick made that call.
Mac Jones. It could be Joe Reinagel.
It may be. I'm
available. They might as well start Mary Lanoux. The quarterback play is exactly the same.
I'm available, by the way. Bill. It just so happens I'm going to be in Boston next week. If you need me, let me know.
But the
I'll
game
be
is
there.
on Thursday, and you got a show that day, so you can't get off work to go play quarterback.
I'm going to call in sick that day.
You can't call in sick when we travel. It's against the rules.
For a game check in the NFL, I'm calling in sick.
I would. Dude, a lot of things that I know you like, dude. Why aren't you going to do that? You got days off. You can burn them. I don't know that you would burn a day off to go get beat up by TJ Watt.
Well, I would. It wouldn't take much. I'd be in that blue tent very quickly.
Headline: How much money must a person earn before you'll marry them?
You know, I saw that, honestly, and that is a question that Outkick, the website Outkick, was asking girls just on the street, like a girl on the street kind of thing.
Yeah.
How much money does a guy have to make for you to say yes to a date with this guy?
Yeah.
And some were saying, some were ridiculous and saying $1 million. There was others that said, well, 100,000's okay. And then there was another one that I saw said, well, as long as he's got a job, I'm okay, and he's passionate about it. So it just depends on what girl you're looking for.
So what's the answer?
Well, there is no answer.
Well, who said $1 million? Because I'm guessing she's going to be single for a long time.
Well, she probably is, and to be honest with you, she wasn't all that attractive. So if you're going to be,
she's got talent.
If you're you better have a head. But how are you going to find that out? See, you got to go out on a date first to find out their talents. So, look. Obviously, she was being ridiculous. At least I think she was.
No concept of money?
Right. Now, if you're somebody that's just, smoking hot, then maybe you could command $1 million. You go in the portal and little NIL.
Really?
You can command $1 million.
NIL means something completely different in that portal.
Absolutely. But I thought that was so ridiculous. I thought it was an interesting concept. For them just to go out and ask that question, and some of the answers that they got were just kind of crazy.
As a girl dad, I'm curious. You've married off most of your daughters.
Yes.
When they brought them home, what questions did you ask as the dad? I'm not at that stage yet where I'm worried about married. You better be able to take care of her, right? I remember when we told my parents that Joanna was pregnant, first words out of my dad's mouth, "Can you feed it?"
Well, and your answer was what?
I hope so. I work in radio, Dad. I have no idea.
Exactly. I can't even feed me working in radio. Are you kidding me? No, I don't think I ever asked that because I always knew, right, what the kid did. All of my kids, their husbands, they all had jobs.
Yeah.
Decent.
When they started dating.
They're not millionaires.
Yeah.
But, they're.
So you feel a little disappointed that they didn't have the standards of that one?
Well, I wish one of them was. And I don't know how that would affect me. But, a trip or two once a year might be kind of nice.
Sure.
I told you about the Patrick Mahomes thing. Did I ever tell you that story?
You've told us that story 1,000 times, but we need it for 1,001.
Well, because it's interesting, and I'm still a little bit bitter about it. Maggie's daughter, Courtney, went to Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, Mahomes and his now wife were on
They were on a break.
A little break.
Yeah.
And Mahomes and Courtney were at this party together and dancing. And I guess Mahomes planted one on her.
Yeah.
And she said he wasn't a very good kisser. And I'm like, well, who cares? The dude just signed a contract for like $1 bazillion.
If it makes you feel any better, had that worked out between Courtney and Patrick, you would never have met Maggie.
You might be right.
So it wouldn't have affected you one bit.
Yeah, but don't let facts get in the way of a good story, Minix. I would have been a suite in Kansas City. I'd have been a couple of Super Bowls in suites.
No.
Hanging with Taylor
really.
Swift. And
not really.
Yeah, I'd have been a real Swiftie.
You still are.
Well, okay.
Just a poor one.
Can you imagine being in a suite with Taylor Swift? You probably just go,
you just sit there still and making sure because the camera's on you the whole time. So
exactly.
You're not going to eat a hot dog.
Is their hair out of place?
Well, with you, that's never the case. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Been a crazy week up there in Aggie land. Let's talk about it with the voice of the Aggies, Andrew Monaco. He joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is awesome to be home. San Antonio invited me in and embraced me. This is a market that means the world to me. I hate that I've been gone so long, but man, it feels sweet to be back.
It's the Jim Rome Show, back in San Antonio. Weekdays at noon.
Hey, Jim Rome here.
Have a take, San Antonio. And certainly do not suck.
Wait, what? Ouch. Are you kidding?
It's the Jim Rome Show, weekdays at noon on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Sebastian Maniscalco.
My wife and I went to go see Hamilton on Broadway.
It Ain't Right Tour 2024.
Oh my God, it is amazing. We saw it. Oh, it changed me it changed me. Now, as soon as I hear that, I'm like, I ain't gonna like this.
Sebastian Maniscalco, live on stage in San Antonio, Frost Bank Center, August 11th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. For more, visit SebastianLive.com.
Texas. The Powerball jackpot is over $300 million, and you can now buy official Texas lottery tickets right from your phone with jackpot.com. Go to jackpot.com, choose your lottery game, pick your lucky numbers, and get your winnings instantly. Plus, get a free ticket with your first play. Get in on the action. Go to jackpot.com and buy lottery tickets on your phone. Go to jackpot.com. That's jackpot.com. Jackpot.com.
Paid for by jackpot.com. You must be 18 or older to order a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Train heating and cooling systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent train dealer. Traininfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
The Golf Club of Texas has some of the best course conditions with the friendliest staff. The golf is great. They have a lighted driving range and practice area. While it feels like a country club, it's not a private club. It's open to the public, so bring the family into the 10 Cup Bar. It's the nicest sit-down restaurant in that area of SA, specializing in Texas food, wine, and spirits. For golf or dinner, go to Golf Club of Texas off Highway 90, online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Before you fire up that grill, make sure you get into Tri-County Meat Market. Hi, Jason Minix here. Tri-County Meat Market has everything you need. If you're thinking steaks, you want some chicken, some poppers, beef ribs, pork ribs, brisket, picanha, tri-tip. They've got it all at Tri-County Meat Market. Take advantage of their Pick 5 for $25, and Tri-County always offers a 10% discount for military and first responders. Tri-County Meat Market, 2 locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Heavener, or online at tricountymeat.com.
Twin Peaks is honoring the pursuit of brews and barrel-aged bourbon every Friday at the Bourbon and Brews Party. Get to Twin Peaks from 5 to 7 p.m. every Friday to experience a lingerie costume party paired with exceptional bourbons, tastings, and giveaways. Cheers from Twin Peaks.
It is time to play Pass the Pigskin for a chance to win $5,000 cash and tailgate prize packs. Celebrate with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds by entering the Pork Rind Appreciation Day giveaway at porkrindappreciationday.com. That's porkrindappreciationday.com. And don't forget to pick up your favorite bold flavored protein packed Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds today at H-E-B.
Hey folks, Steve Brent's here at beautiful Winans Creek Ranch in Bandera, inviting you to our holiday land sale event going on right now. It's the best time of the year to get an incredible deal on a gorgeous 10 to 15 acre luxury ranch home site here at Winans Creek. Take advantage of deep discounts and terrific bank and special below market seller financing. Plus, ask us about our closing cost bonus offers, saving you even more during our sale. Winans Creek features secluded private settings, spectacular 30-mile views, a gorgeous creekfront park, as well as paved roads, high-speed internet, electric, and more. Plus, Winans qualifies for low ag exempt taxes. The rush of the holidays will be here soon, but there's still time to get a great deal on your 10 to 15 acre luxury ranch home site you've always dreamed of. So come out and see me today at Winans Creek Ranch, and we'll help put together an incredible deal that will make your holidays bright. Give us a call at 866-952-6323 or go to WinansCreekRanch.com.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
Monday on R&R in the morning. The playoff is set, but chaos came. We'll talk about who got there and why. Spurs get back busy. Are they off the schneid? And is Houston the prescription for what ails them? And we're talking NFL with Todd Archer of ESPN. He was in the building, and we're looking forward to Philly. Lots to talk about. Now back to the Blitz. Jason, Joe, don't worry about predicting Sunday's games. It ain't nothing but garbage.
Garbage, really?
Garbage?
Texans, Broncos, Niners, Eagles.
That didn't sound like garbage to me.
Absolutely not. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, live this Friday at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. A great place to come watch all the championship games this weekend. The NFL on Sunday. Oregon, Washington tonight in the Pac-12 Championship game. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Andrew, it's been an interesting couple of days for you up there in College Station.
It has been a little bit. It's never dull, is it? It's never dull at all here at Aggieland.
Well, Andrew, when you just your first impressions of Mike Elko, I know you introduced him at that opening press conference, and I'm sure you've had a chance to talk to him. What are your thoughts?
He's home, Joe, and that's the other thing. His wife Michelle said the same thing. We're home, and that's important because I think that was box number one that Ross Bjork wanted. Our director of athletics was you have to get Texas A&M, and Mike certainly does in his 4 years while he was here. So to have them come back and really take over this program that Mike Elko helped build with Jimbo Fisher, and he's excited about this opportunity. Look, when I say excited to leave, he was excited to go to Duke because it was a head coaching job for him at Duke. But to come back here to Texas A&M, he wasn't sure he was going to be able to do that. And when the opportunity came, he and the family jumped on it.
You know, Andrew, I keep hearing kind of what you just said, home, and he's one of us. And I mean, he had 4 years there. Now, granted, they were a solid 4 years with the beginning of Jimbo, but outside of that, he doesn't really have any other ties to Texas A&M or to the Texas High School Coaches Association. So I'm curious, when I hear the coming home, did he just get there almost like you did and just embrace the A&M way from day one and get accepted to that level where you are one of us? I mean, because from an outsider looking in, you go, well, it was just one of the many stops on a college coach's career ladder.
Yeah. If you remember, go back to 2018, Dave Aranda was the one that they targeted for D.C. when he decided to stay at LSU. Jimbo Fisher brings in Mike Elko from Notre Dame. And part of this is where you get the combination of reaching out to the Texas High School Coaches Association. When you're recruiting like they recruited, when you recruit with Elijah Robinson and you recruit with Terry Price at the time, Terry was the one who was around here for a long time as well. That's why you keep a guy like Terry. And then in those 4 years, when you're reaching out and you're recruiting players in the state and you're also welcoming coaches to come watch your practices, it is familiar coming back. So, yeah, he totally immersed himself. He dived in when he was here 4 years ago. And if you remember, the defenses got better and better and better while he was here. He was able to reach and go into different places in Texas, whether it was Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, to get DeMarvin Leal, to get Jalen Jones. He knew the landscape, not just in Texas, but, you know, a national job as well. But I think that was the key that Mike came here and he ingratiated himself with the coaches and obviously with the recruiting talent.
Hey, you know, Andrew, everything that I've heard since that hire was made about Mike Elko is that he's going to be a guy that's not going to sit behind a desk. He's going to get out in the community. He's going to shake hands with not only the boosters, but the everyday folk, the students, and he's going to be involved that way. Something that Jimbo Fisher was not. At least that's what I've heard. Do you see Mike Elko as a guy that's just going to get out and be a part of that, not only university, but the community of College Station?
Yeah, he mentioned the selfless service in his introduction, and that's going to be him, and that's going to be this team. And that's the thing about Mike. That's what hits you is the honesty, the genuineness of Mike Elko. That's why his players played for him. And it's funny. We say players coach, right? And we're saying that about Elijah Robinson right now, the interim. And the first thought that fans have is up at the country club, players are running. Not the case. That genuineness also means honesty, and you're gonna bring out the best in these players, and you're gonna coach them and coach them hard. Mike can be hard on you, but he's not coaching you to where you are. He's coaching you to where he thinks you can be, and be the best you can be. And sometimes that's hard for some players. They don't understand it. Why is Coach being so hard on me? Joe, Jason, you guys know the coaches that are the hardest on you, they like you even more than when they don't yell at you. That's when you know that you're in trouble. And it's that honesty that he has. He said something. He met the team before he was introduced on Monday, and it was the first time that he had ever been with any team, whether it was as a DC or whether as the head coach at Duke. He walked into that locker room, and he was met with 50 hugs. There's a lot of guys, a lot of the upperclassmen that Mike Elko helped bring in here. So there was that familiarity. And you hear from the former players just absolutely understand what he is like to play for. They're all excited, the offensive players as well. But back to your point, Joe, yeah, I think that's important. I think getting out in the community, look, you've got to know the boosters, right? You've got to know them. That's important. You got to know the VIPs. But he's such a regular guy that I think it's going to be very easy for him to embrace not just the university, that's what's going to be first, but also this community.
Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, joining us here on the Blitz, the home of the Aggies, 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. You look at, I know his schedule right now is nuts because we're trying to get him on the air, and it may be next week or so because, he's got to hire a staff. He's got to recruit. The portal is open. Some big-name guys like Evan Stewart already put their name in the portal. Because it is Mike Elko and he has relationships with a lot of guys already in that locker room, how much will that help keep some of those guys in College Station?
Yeah, I think it's imperative. And I think you do all this in stages, guys. I think the interim of Elijah Robinson helped keep the team together for the 2 games in the end of the regular season and then for the bowl game. And now you've got transfer portal window because of the change in coaching midseason for Texas A&M. That portal for grad students, I believe, and then a change midstream. December 4th becomes the portal opening. Early signing period in December. We're not even getting to the bowl game yet. I think that's imperative that he reach out those relationships, and whether it is the one-on-one relationships or whether it is a Zoom with the recruits, that's where it's important. And then in the back of your mind is, okay, now he's got to assemble a staff. So I think it's first things first. The players that you have right now, you're re-recruiting, if you will, the players right now. Some are going to go. That is their prerogative. They're able to. Can you keep those? Can you keep this recruiting class together, the early signing period? Because the colleges in the last 2 weeks recruiting against Texas A&M, they were going to use that against them. And I think that was why Ross Bjork wanted to have a hire so quickly. But recruit your players now. This recruiting class, keep that together. And then you can start seeing, okay, how does this bowl practice go? He can observe the bowl game and then dive in with his staff and all of that for the 2024 season.
Andrew, you brought up the bowl game and a couple of questions. Number one, what are you hearing about where the Aggies might go? Number two, excuse me, will Robinson coach the team during the bowl game, or will Elko get his feet in the water with that thing?
It will be Elijah Robinson who will coach the bowl game for the Aggies. We're hearing Texas Bowl and Music City. Here, we're in the pool of 6 now. And when you get in the pool of 6 outside the CFP and then your New Year's 6 bowls, that pool of 6, the conference then decides where you go. Now, we can ask we can request where we would like to go, but the conference is the one that will put you. So you're seeing in bowl projections the Music City, and you're seeing the Texas Bowl. We can put in that request. I believe yesterday the Texas Bowl actually met with ESPN to go over possible teams that will be there. So on Sunday, I'd love to say, hey, this is where we're going, and we can't announce it till Sunday. When you find out on Sunday, basically about 3 minutes before everybody finds out where Texas A&M is going, that's when the Aggies find out as well, because it's the conference that decides which team, which school is going to which bowl.
Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies. I'm curious. Now, selfishly, I'm thinking Music City Bowl because I'd rather spend a couple of days in Nashville. And the Aggies have been to the Texas Bowl. But from a recruiting standpoint, especially players in Texas, would it be better for the Aggies, do you think, to play in the Texas Bowl where they could host a bunch of recruits? Or are they allowed to host recruits at a bowl game?
No, you can. You can do that. And that is one of the reasons why that is a preferred destination for us, especially in this off season. Look, you would always, I'm with you. You welcome a trip, any trip to Nashville, right? any extra opportunity you can get there is always a good trip. And this is something,
especially on the boss's time.
I thought that was understood by you guys.
It is. I'm just clarifying.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, but here's the thing. If you get a chance to go to the Texas Bowl, obviously Houston and the recruiting, and you're playing at NRG. If you go to Music City, you get to play where the Tennessee Titans play. Jimbo Fisher always used this to say, guys, when you want to get in the league, these are the kind of places that you're playing. And I think Mike Elko will do the same thing. But, Jason, to your point, to be able to go to Houston, have those recruits be in state, have Aggies go there, yeah, that would be, I think, one of the preferred destinations for Texas A&M.
All right, Andrew, I'm going to see how smart you are. Big game tonight, Oregon and Washington. Who you got?
Oregon.
All right, you're a smart
man. It's a good
man.
game, though. It's a good game. It's a good game. I mean, if you're going to have the last one as the Pac-12, that's not a bad one, right? It's not bad
at all. Now, will you be able to watch it? Do you have a basketball game tonight?
No, you know what? I've got a little bit of downtime. I can watch, and I'm looking forward to this. We play again next Wednesday. So after as busy as it was, a little bit of downtime. So, yeah, there'll be some football watching going on, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear, because I know were you in Virginia a couple of days ago. I never know where. You never know where Andrew Monaco.
That's right.
Actually, you do. Just look at the schedule. But what days and how he gets there is always the bigger question.
That's exactly right. Charlottesville is beautiful. The result wasn't what I wanted, but man, that's a fantastic campus. That's for sure. But it's been busy for basketball. Now I say it lightens up the schedule, lightens up in number of games, because they played 8 in November and 6 of them being on the road. Good news is you're back home. The tough news is Memphis is coming in. Your one trip is down to Houston to play the Cougars. Even though that's neutral site, it's really a game to Paul next Wednesday. So Buzz Williams said it's the type of non-conference that can get you fired. But that's what he had to do. They absolutely really beefed up this non-conference, and in a result of the last 2 years, they've done it, and I'm really happy with the way that they've come through November at 6-2. This is a team that's learning to play with that lower number next to their name, where they're going to take everybody's best shot, and that will continue through the month of December.
You know, in light of what happened a couple of weeks ago to Jimbo, Buzz might not want to make jokes like that, although I don't know how many buyouts they want to pay. Actually joke that way at this point, because he ain't getting fired anytime soon.
Shape.
He's in good shape. Andrew Monaco, enjoy the weekend off there in College Station. Appreciate you jumping on with us here on a Friday afternoon.
Always enjoy it. Thank you, my friend.
Appreciate it. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. We're live out here at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. You got the conference championship games this weekend, including tonight's game. Washington and Oregon. Let's talk about what we expect to see happen this weekend in college football. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. Think about it. You've got your office party coming up for your company, trying to figure out what to get your employees. How about a nice jacket, a half zip, a hoodie with your company logo on it? Sam will get those holiday gifts taken care of. You can put a logo on anything. You need caps done? Sam has over 12,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, including the popular Richardson 112 style trucker caps. Sammy has all the big name brands like North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Matthew, Port Authority, to name a few. Nobody has better prices. No order too big, certainly no order too small, and all items do come with a warranty. Call 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or better yet, go by that massive showroom on San Pedro, a mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
Props to San Antonio. It feels great to be back home.
It's the Jim Rome Show.
94.1. Big ups. Thank you very much.
Weekdays at noon on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The holiday season is right around the corner, so give the gift that's hard to wrap but easy to give. Give them a Stihl. With powerful trimmers, blowers, and chainsaws to place under the tree, the Stihl Holiday Gift Guide has something for everyone. Save $40 on the HSA 45 battery-powered hedge trimmer. Visit your local Stihl dealer or go to stihlusa.com/gift guide. Real Stihl. Find yours. Now $99.99 was $139.99 MSRP. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
A holiday message from Jackson Hewitt.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to get money the same day.
Starting December 11th, walk into a Jackson Hewitt for an early loan on your tax refund, and you could walk out with up to $1,000.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to get money. Missing out would be cray.
Appointments go fast. Book yours now at jacksonhewitt.com. Early refund advance offered to eligible clients. Application required. Finance charge applies. Loans by Republic Bank. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Gomez Law Firm has been taking care of the people of San Antonio for almost 50 years. The leader in personal injury law. Jose, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
We do ride-sharing cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere.
Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
A holiday message from Jackson Hewitt.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to get money the same day.
Starting December 11th, walk into a Jackson Hewitt for an early loan on your tax refund, and you could walk out with up to $1,000.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to get money. Missing out would be cray.
Appointments go fast. Book yours now at jacksonhewitt.com. Early refund advance offered to eligible clients. Application required. Finance charge applies. Loans by Republic Bank. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems. Listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield 75192.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help, so you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
O'Reilly.
Does your vehicle have over 75,000 miles? Get maximum high mileage engine protection with Syntec Full Synthetic High Mileage Motor Oil exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec High Mileage and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $34.99. Limit supply. Ask for Syntec High Mileage at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
It's the Awesome Tickets Pro Football Pick'em Challenge on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your shot at $50,000 nationally, while weekly winners locally get a $50 gift card to 5 Oaks Ace Hardware on Thousand Oaks. At the end of the season, locally, the best overall record wins the San Antonio Grand Prize of $1,000 worth of tickets to any event from Awesome Tickets. Sign up today at sasportstar.com.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix.
Howdy.
Glad to have you along on this Friday afternoon. Live at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road.
Oh, I can see it now on the screen here. Little Oregon, Washington a little bit later on.
Yeah.
Probably have Spurs on one of these TVs, I would assume.
Yeah.
No Wemby tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, they played good last night. Only lost by 2.
Well, you know, full transparency. I didn't see any of it. Second, I'm just letting you know. But, I mean, you're looking at the highlights and say at least they were competitive. And I think Spurs fans would be okay with that. If you're going to lose, I get it, but be competitive, be in games, see some progress. And I think last night was the first time we were able to do that.
Yeah, but Wemby out tonight.
Yes, he is out. Hip soreness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can relate.
You're an old man. He's 19.
You know, if you took my height and reversed it, 5'7" to 7'5", you know.
You'd be Wemby.
Well, a 50-year-old version of it.
Yeah, well,
I bet a lot of people are going to have hip soreness or some sort of soreness this weekend with the Rock and Roll Marathon happening downtown. So if you are downtown this weekend, look for all the street closures and all the stuff that is going on. But it's also a good reason to find a place like the Roo Pub, sit back and watch a lot of football this weekend with the playoffs. And tonight, obviously, you get the Pac-12 Championship game. You can listen to it here on 94.1, but then you also have the idea of tomorrow with games starting at 11 a.m. with the Texas Longhorns taking on Oklahoma State and the debate. And look, all the debate ends on Sunday, although you're going to have pretty good ideas. What I love is you start trying to figure out who the 4 teams are going to be in the playoffs. And I'm selfish. Will Texas be one of those 4 teams? And then, you know, could you imagine no SEC team that makes the playoff?
That's not going to happen.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, but Heather Dinich explains a scenario where it could.
To sort of sum it all up, if I can, Heather, Michigan in, Florida State, if they win, in. It feels to me like Washington wins in, right? Nothing left to talk about. So to make it interesting, let's talk about Oregon. If Oregon beats Washington, then the committee, and Alabama beats Georgia. If Georgia wins, there's nothing to talk about. They're 1, and that's the end of that. But if Alabama beats Georgia and Oregon beats Washington, that leaves Alabama, Georgia, Oregon, and Texas, 4 teams for 2 spots. Am I getting that basically right? And assuming I'm, knowing this committee as you do, what would your prediction be?
I think that Oregon would probably get in. Alabama, Oregon, Washington. No, Alabama, Oregon, Florida State, sorry. And then Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan.
Alabama.
So the one that's out is Georgia. So Georgia, who has lost 1 game in 3 years, would be the team that gets left out in that scenario.
Well, now wait. I'm second guessing myself here because I know for a fact how much the committee likes Texas in that room.
Ooh.
And in that room, the Texas strength of schedule is higher than Alabama's right now. The question that we don't know is how it will impact them if Alabama beats their number one team. Now remember, because Texas is playing the lowest ranked opponent of any Power 5 contender. Oklahoma State has 3 losses. So does that change their strength of schedule that much in the committee meeting room? Because that's one of the tiebreakers as well. But right now, Texas has the edge in head-to-head, and it has the edge in strength of schedule. So don't assume that the entire SEC can't be left out.
Heather, I just ran that exact same model on our all-state playoff predictor, and what it spits out is Michigan, Oregon, Florida State, and Texas. So a college football playoff that excludes the SEC.
Oh, my God.
Could you imagine? That was obviously Heather Dinich and Mike Greenberg and Hembo on Greeny. Glad that Greeny has survived his bout with COVID and came back to work. But you look at the idea of just hearing her. She says, I know what the committee thinks of Texas. Yet Texas is always or has been at number 7 and they haven't moved up. Now, the committee does value that head-to-head win because they have kept Alabama behind Texas this entire time. But by leaving Texas at 7, I have a hard time believing that Texas will jump all the way up to number 4.
Yeah, but if Alabama beats the number 1 team in the country, they're going to jump everybody.
That would be the lead.
That would be. And so I think that makes a big difference when you're looking at that. There's no way in my mind. No way in my mind. In fact, I think it works just the opposite. If Alabama beats Georgia, you got Alabama and Georgia in the playoffs. And that's going to happen. Look, the SEC is king. It is right now. It's going to be, and that's the way it is. And then you got to figure out from there, obviously Michigan's in because I don't think they're going to have any trouble with Iowa. So then it comes down to Oregon and Texas and who are you going to put in?
Well, and like tomorrow night,
Florida State.
Yeah, well, and again, does Florida State with a backup quarterback beat Louisville?
Could be third string, by the way. I'm hearing their second stringer is a little bit dinged up.
Well, and he missed a couple of plays in last game. So, I mean, I think the committee is hoping Louisville wins because then that takes Florida State out of the equation.
Right.
If Michigan wins, and they will,
they will.
You know, they're going to be fine, undefeated. And if Washington wins, that would eliminate Oregon from the equation, and that would open the door for the Texas Longhorns.
It's going to be interesting to see and how it plays out. But I think when you listen to that, what hurts Texas is the fact that they're playing Oklahoma State in this conference championship game. And I think it hurts them. Look, Oregon's playing Washington, which is the number 3 team in the country. That helps them if they beat Washington. It helps. Alabama's playing Georgia. That helps. Texas is getting the short straw in this scenario because they're playing Oklahoma State.
But Oklahoma State's still ranked in the top 25, so that does help. Just like Louisville, as far down as they're ranked if Florida State wins, but they're still undefeated. And again, I think, you know, tomorrow night, by I don't want to say by this time tomorrow. By this time tomorrow, we'll have a pretty good idea. But tomorrow night, depending on what happens with Louisville and Florida State, like everybody is on Oregon. Washington might have something to say about that, right? What if Washington wins, right? You know, they're reading all the headlines.
Well, then they're in.
I mean, and so you know, like tonight might take some of the drama away from tomorrow.
It could.
Although I do think the winner tonight is in. Tonight is a playoff game to get in the playoffs from the Pac-12 Championship.
Well, obviously Washington's going to stay. They're already there, right? So if they win tonight, they're going to stay where they're at. Same with Georgia.
Well, look, I mean, there's people in Columbus trying to figure out how does Ohio State get in.
They don't. They're not getting in.
Well,
that's the problem.
You can't tell that to them.
Well, they're not getting in unless it's
chaos.
Just complete chaos.
I want a bunch of chaos.
And let's just be honest here. You know, Texas still has to beat Oklahoma State.
You know what? Texas is going to beat the holy crap out of Oklahoma State because some frat in Stillwater killed a cow and left it on the front lawn of their frat house.
You know, I don't know who thought that was funny. But that's just sick.
There's no words for something like that.
I mean, that's just
no
sick.
words.
I saw that. I even saw the pictures of it. And it's just That's sick.
I mean,
what the hell's the matter with you?
Dude, I hope just for that reason alone. Now, I think one of the things, though, in all seriousness, and point for all your different black helicopters, who's officiating the game tomorrow and how is it called? Because that Big 12 commissioner does not want to see Texas take that Big 12 trophy and carry it off to the SEC.
Well, Texas is going to win that game. They're better than Oklahoma State. It's just that they have struggled against Oklahoma State in the past. And so we'll see what happens, but certainly a lot of motivation. Number one, because Gundy wins the Coach of the Year. He shouldn't have, but they're not going to give it to Sark. So, there's a lot of motivation there without a doubt. I just think that hurts Texas. Even if they beat the crap out of Oklahoma State, I don't think it matters. If Oregon wins and some of these other scenarios go in, I just don't think it does.
I will tell you, because Boo Corrigan fawning over the completion percentage of Bo Nix. If Texas destroys Oklahoma State, and Washington and Oregon are in a close game. Why do I keep calling them Oregon State? If Oregon and Washington is a close game and Texas destroys Oklahoma State, maybe that head-to-head Texas Tech matchup or common opponent, rather, where Oregon struggled in Lubbock.
Dude, that was in the first game of the season.
It wasn't the first game, but it was September.
Okay, it was way back then. That's the same argument I have with this whole, Texas has the best win of anybody. It was like a lifetime ago.
Yeah, but it was this football season, and September matters. They put games on the schedule for this reason.
Actually,
because September
I wonder
matters.
if it matters. If it matters, because if Alabama beats Georgia, they're jumping all over Texas, and they're in the playoffs.
Because at that point, they would have the biggest win of the season. But they would.
But it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be at Georgia's place. It'd be at a neutral site. So I can see the Texas people now. Now wait a minute. We beat Alabama on their home field. Alabama beat Georgia, in Las Vegas or wherever the hell they're playing. Where are they playing? They're playing in Atlanta, I think, right? Okay,
the SEC doesn't go west.
Well, it'd be nice to see them in Vegas. Vegas would probably rather have that one. I don't know. They've got Oregon, Washington.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that we've got that straight.
What do we have straight?
We don't have anything straight.
Exactly.
The road for Texas to get into the playoffs is difficult. It's going to be difficult. They've got to have a lot of things fall their way, and that's just the way it is. And we can argue it all we want to, and you can say this and that, and this win was that, and head-to-head, it doesn't matter. Oregon's getting in if they win. That it's plain and simple. If Florida State beats Louisville, they're in. You can't keep that team out, and you go from there. So it's going to be tough for Texas to get in the playoffs. They'll be playing the Sugar Bowl. You should appreciate that.
Yeah.
Where about half the team will play.
In the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah.
Well, the Sugar Bowl is part of the playoff.
Well,
I'll take that because they'll have Georgia.
You know what I'm talking
number
about.
4.
You don't want to see Georgia.
They're going to end up playing in the Cotton Bowl.
You don't want
to see. Is that what you meant?
Yeah,
because why let facts get in the way
exactly.
of
They'll be playing in a
here.
bowl game, some other than the college football playoff bowl games. Texas doesn't want anything to do with Georgia. Are you kidding me? Stop it. The crew behind me, grumpy ass crew, they beat them before.
Yeah,
about half of Georgia's team had already left for the NFL, for the Philadelphia Eagles camp, I think.
Texas?
I don't hate Texas.
You do hate Texas.
I speak facts.
You don't.
I speak facts. That's all.
Bubba Revis on YouTube says, that's a good idea, Jim.
Oh, that's a great idea, Jim. It is, Bubba.
Hey, Pledge, will you put Rudy J's comment back up there? Rudy J from R&R in the morning. But what if we cook and eat bevo that the frat chopped up? Would it be okay?
No, it wouldn't be. And maybe somebody will. Hopefully they'll donate that meat to somebody. But to kill a damn animal and put it on the front lawn of some – was it a frat house or wherever the hell it was? It's just sick. Come on.
Well, it is.
I mean, that's just sick.
I mean, because honestly, the way they did that, the briskets that would have been on there, you wouldn't be able to eat.
I mean, it's come on.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
I hope Texas beats the crap out of them.
Well, I do too, actually. And I'm not a Gundy fan anyway. I don't like that guy.
Why?
Because he's a man. He's 50.
He's more than that. He's your age.
Whatever. I love that rant.
Well, everybody does.
Come after me.
Everybody does.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Oh, he's 40. Sorry.
Well, back then, I mean, what is he? What is that, 15 years old at this point?
He's probably mid-50s now, right? Did he cut off his mullet? Because I was kind of jealous of the mullet.
You can grow one now that you don't work in TV.
Well, I'm just saying.
You'll spend the beginning of the show bitching about your hairstyle.
I was a little bit jealous of the mullet. But he's in Oklahoma, for goodness sake. I mean, everybody's got a mullet.
Yeah?
I think.
When was the last time you were in the state of Oklahoma?
It's been a while.
19 what?
No. It was the 2000s. The last time the Spurs played the Thunder in the playoffs. Whole Kevin Durant.
2012?
Westbrook.
2012?
Yeah, those guys when they were with the Thunder.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
But they had mullets then. I can't imagine they changed it.
Nah.
It's Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's requirement.
It is. I think you have to.
We'll do our prime picks coming up here at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. Coming up in just over an hour, we've got Cowboys Eagles tickets to give away at 5 o'clock. Make sure you're tuned in here to 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. If you're going to fire up the grill this weekend, before you do, make sure you get into Tri-County Meat Market. There are two great locations. Maybe you want to do a great brisket this weekend and watch a lot of football. There's some ribs, beef ribs, some St. Louis style or baby back ribs. They've got everything you need. Maybe you want to do a tri-tip or picanha. Their sausage is fantastic. The burgers, including those brisket burgers. Tri-County has what you need with the quality you expect, and they always have that pick 5 for 25. And Tri-County Meat Market always offers a 10% discount for military and first responders. Two great locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Heavener, online at tricountymeat.com.
It's R&R in the morning.
Monday on R&R in the morning, we're joined by ESPN NFL insider Todd Archer at 7:30. And the college football playoff is set. Who's going in and who's going home?
Crazy weekend of football, and NFL really didn't play a role but for the 49ers and Philadelphia. Man, cannot wait. The party starts at 6.
It's your wake-up call. R&R in the morning, 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Tease the season at Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf for holiday specials this year. Featuring the TaylorMade Stilt 2 Carbon Woods that combine speed and forgiveness to unlock forgiveness. Now up to $100 off. And from Bushnell, the new Tour V6 Series laser rangefinders provide you the most accurate distances in golf. There's always gift cards in any amount for the special golfer you're shopping for. Edwin Watts Golf Shops is home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Shop us in store or online at worldwidegolf.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard. Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard. It's perfect.
Now try Babbel free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Life moves fast. No one has time for a car, truck wreck, or commercial vehicle accident. At Davis Law Firm, we get it. When you call the force, you don't have to worry about insulting offers from insurance adjusters, property damage, or car rental. We recently settled a wrongful death case in a commercial vehicle accident for $5 million. Net to clients was $2.8 million. I'm Jeff Davis. If you were in a car, truck wreck, or hit by a commercial vehicle, call me at 444-4444. You got it. There's only one number to remember. 4. Attorney consultation by appointment only. Davis Law Firm, San Antonio. Davis Law Firm is a proud official partner, personal injury attorney of the San Antonio Spurs.
Get a great deal on select Kubota equipment, the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience in the U.S. The versatile lineup is built to help you make the most of your land. Right now at participating dealers, get a Kubota compact tractor for 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months, plus save up to $800 on qualifying implements. Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more details.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
Hey folks, Steve Brent's here at beautiful Winans Creek Ranch in Bandera, inviting you to our holiday land sale event going on right now. It's the best time of the year to get an incredible deal on a gorgeous 10 to 15 acre luxury ranch home site here at Winans Creek. Take advantage of deep discounts and terrific bank and special below market seller financing. Plus, ask us about our closing cost bonus offer, saving you even more during our sale. Winans Creek features secluded private settings, spectacular 30-mile views, a gorgeous creekfront park, as well as paved roads, high-speed internet, electric, and more. Plus, Winans qualifies for low ag exempt taxes. The rush of the holidays will be here soon, but there's still time to get a great deal on your 10 to 15 acre luxury ranch home site you've always dreamed of. So come out and see me today at Winans Creek Ranch, and we'll help put together an incredible deal that will make your holidays bright. Give us a call at 866-952-6323 or go to WinansCreekRanch.com.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine. Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for Monday Night Football. KTFM Floresville, San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, it wasn't easy, but the Cowboys, they got a victory over the Seattle Seahawks last night. And Dak Prescott said after the game that this win was important for the Cowboys moving forward.
Yeah, it was complimentary football at its finest to get a big win that's been different than most of these at home. And we can take, as Coach always says, a big chunk of confidence. We can take that into next week and just moving forward. And
here we go.
Oh, boy.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, live out at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. Come spend part of your Friday with us here at the Roo Pub. And in an hour, 1 hour from right now, we are going to give somebody tickets to next Sunday's Cowboys-Eagles game at Jerry World.
Wow. And they're going to be huge tickets, especially if San Francisco wins this weekend. That could be for the division lead.
It's a big game regardless, right?
Absolutely.
Cowboys, we're going to do Cowboy trivia. Now, there's 2 ways you can do it. We're going to do phone calls, and if you're standing here at the Roo Pub, we'll alternate. If you're here, take a call, somebody here. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go, but they're going to a fan. You got to know your Cowboys, current and history, after that big win last night.
Absolutely, and some of those questions are difficult, to say the least. You threw a couple of them what? Didn't know.
That's how I gauge whether I can ask them or not. If you know the answer, then I know that's not a good question.
Well, that's right. It's too easy.
Let's do prime picks on the Blitz.
Prime Picks on the Blitz.
We normally do Prime Picks Friday at 5, but since we're giving away Cowboys-Eagles tickets in an hour, we'll move up our picks and do it now. Got to pull up the document. Here we go. All right. Let's start with the game tonight, a game that you can listen to here on 94.1. Pac-12 Championship game, Washington and Oregon.
Now, you know, I'm all over Oregon. I think they're the second best team in the country. They get their revenge tonight, and they get into the college football playoff pool.
I'm taking Oregon, although I look at the line Vegas has on that game that's being played in Las Vegas. You know, I'm going to a wedding in a couple of weeks in Washington State. A kid that I have called Duck Boy since he was in high school, marrying my niece, and just, he is so nervous about this game, and I get it because Washington is good. That quarterback they have, Penix, is good. The winner tonight might win the Heisman next week in New York.
I think you're right about that. I think that's a good bet, Penix.
Yeah.
Whoever wins is Heisman bound.
Pledge?
I think that Washington hears all the noise about how great Oregon is, and I think they want to make a statement, and especially Michael Penix in his Heisman race. I'm going to take the Huskies.
All right. You and Rudy J on with the Huskies.
That's right.
Up in Arlington, Texas, Oklahoma State. Anybody taking Oklahoma State?
No.
No, question is how much does
this.
Texas win by?
Yeah, I think you're right.
And I think it'll win by a lot because, despite Joe Reinagle, I still think there's an outside chance they make the playoffs.
There is.
Have to fall their way, and my picks might suggest such a thing. As we go to the SEC championship game, Georgia against Alabama. I'm taking the Dogs.
I got the Dogs.
I'm going to take Bama. Bama's been playing really good lately. Jalen Milroe looks like a different quarterback than he did when he faced Texas up in Austin. And Georgia's giving up about 40 yards more a game this year than they did last year running the football, and that's what Jalen Milroe does.
First off, Pledge. Yeah, Jalen lost that game to Texas in Tuscaloosa, not in Austin. But I'll tell you what.
Biggest win in school history and the best win of the country. Remember, Pledge.
Not school history.
Oh.
That was against USC. But I just look at how Alabama struggled last week against an average Auburn team. They needed a muff punt and then a 4th and 31 miracle. I appreciate you taking Alabama when you got a lead in the pick'em game the way you do over us. You can take a wild card like that.
Sure.
Florida State, Louisville. I'm taking Louisville.
I just think Florida State, you talk about a team that's hearing all the noise, whether they don't belong anymore because they suck because their quarterback's out. They're still a damn good football team. And Louisville struggled with Kentucky last week. I like Florida State to win this football game.
Louisville.
I'm going to take Louisville. I've liked them a lot this year. I thought they were going to get them even when healthy. And this doesn't change my mind. Them not having their best player actually makes this pick a lot easier for me.
In the game that UTSA is not playing in, down in New Orleans, SMU against Tulane in the American Athletic Conference Championship game. I love what SMU is doing, and I think a couple of things. One, they got some issues at quarterback, but they're going with a kid from the Dallas area, South Oak Cliff, that won a state championship. I like SMU to win this game, partly because I like SMU, partly because I think Willie Fritz, as soon as that game is over, is getting on a plane to the University of Houston, and his players know that. SMU is going to win this game.
Well, it's a home game for Tulane, first and foremost. I mean, they're playing at home, so I like that. I think Tulane wins this championship, and then Tulane is just going to throw money at Willie Fritz to keep him there, and he's not going anywhere, and then Jeff Traylor ends up in Houston. I like Tulane to win this football game, mainly because they're at home, and I think that's going to make a difference.
I'm with you, Jason. I saw the reports that as soon as that game's over, it's expected that Willie Fritz is going to be named the head coach. I think Willie Fritz has probably told his players, and I think they're a little bit distracted. We talked with Jeff Traylor about how much those distractions kind of mess up the locker room dynamic going into game weeks. I think that could be the case here.
You know, and I don't know that he's already told his players or any of that, but I do think there's a distraction. They all can read social media. They all know what the rumors are. And quite frankly, and I give Tulane a ton of credit for forcing a bunch of turnovers, but they weren't the better team last week. But UTSA played one of their worst games in a long time. And I think UTSA was there partly because they didn't have to play SMU in the regular season. On to the NFL, the Colts against Joe Reinagel's Tennessee Titans.
It's like the who cares bowl, right? I mean, Jonathan, although Indianapolis has got a shot at the playoffs. Yeah. And I know that Pledge would probably prefer Tennessee to win that thing. It would help out the Texans. But I like Tennessee. Jonathan Taylor not playing.
Yeah, that's why I'm taking Tennessee.
That, and they just haven't looked great, even in their wins over like New England most recently. I think Tennessee gets them.
Detroit on the road against New Orleans.
Well, it's a tough one for me, honestly, because Detroit's defense has not looked good. It really has not looked good, but New Orleans sucks. So I got to figure Detroit's going to bounce back, right? I mean, I'm taking Detroit.
I'm taking Detroit.
I'm taking Detroit. They better bounce back or the wheels are falling off that thing.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. All of a sudden, Dan Campbell doesn't get the A&M job, and the Lions are remembering they're the Lions.
Yeah, right.
Good Lord. Rams against the Browns. It will be Joe Flacco getting the start for Cleveland.
Joe Flacco.
Raise your hand if you realized he was still in the league.
Well, he wasn't. And they dusted him off and brought him back. And so I think the Rams are healthy. They've got everybody playing well, and they win this game.
Rams. San Francisco against Philadelphia. I tell you, I put my picks in earlier. I almost want to change my pick, but I won't. Everybody is picking San Francisco. While we've been talking on ESPN on one of the big screens here inside the Roo Pub, just had their NFL panel, everyone is picking San Francisco. A favorite on the road against a team that has lost one time this year. I'm still taking the 49ers, but I'm less confident now than I was 4 hours ago with that pick.
You know, that's a great point, and that's why I haven't filled that one in. And I keep looking at that because earlier I was the same way. San Francisco's going to win this game. They've got revenge on their mind, all of that stuff. But they're a 3.5-point favorite. You talk about a team that's got to plaster that up on a bulletin board.
Well, every Eagle fan is screenshotting every ESPN show right now and getting ready to serve the receipts on Sunday.
I'm taking Philly just because they always seem to find a way to win. And they're at home. I think they find a way to win again.
I think it's time for them to lose. Taking the 40-winers.
They always find a way to win, but there's one thing about finding a way to win. There's another thing about looking dominant. San Francisco, when they're firing all cylinders and healthy, which they are now, they're dominant.
All right, Pledge. Your Houston Texans.
I'll be there.
At home in a more or less almost nationally televised game. Biggest audience that this Texans team will have. Biggest audience C.J. Stroud will have as an NFL player, taking on a really good Denver Bronco team that will feature one drunk James Pledger in the crowd.
Yep.
Well, we know who Pledge is taking. He's taking the Texans.
I'm taking the Texans, but I'm terrified of this game because that Denver defense is playing so well. I think they've got 14 turnovers in the last 5 games.
Well, go ahead.
I mean, there is that, although C.J. Stroud has not been turnover prone. But tight end's going to be an issue this week, I think, for C.J. So, without the security blanket, I think that's going to be a problem. I will give credit where I see credit being due. A lot of credit to Sean Payton and what he the red zone Denver is getting a road win against the Texans.
And, of course, Russell Wilson didn't know how to play football until he met Sean Payton.
Well,
So,
you saw
I mean,
what he
my
was
goodness.
doing under Nathaniel Hackett.
Well, you see what the Jets are doing under Nathaniel Hackett? Aaron Rodgers completely ruined that team big time. Look, I hate Denver. Don't like Sean Payton. But this one, I'm with Pledge on this. I mean, this is a team that's playing well. I'm going to go with Houston. I really, and that's more of a fan bet than anything. I want Houston to beat Denver.
Are you really just tired of the Texans fans hitting you up on the weekend? Why do you hate the Texans when you pick against them?
Do you really think I give a damn what Texan fan thinks of me? I don't
this
care.
is a fan bet.
You know what this is.
Joe
he
doesn't
can't
want
pick Sean Payton.
I hate Sean Payton.
That's
I
what
don't
it
want
is.
Sean Payton. That's exactly what it is.
I knew I'd eventually get you to actually say it.
Jeez.
Speak the truth, man. Speak
That
the
poor
truth.
Russell Wilson. I don't know what he did. Pete Carroll he sucked. Took Sean Payton to fix Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson hasn't won a Super Bowl since the Legion of Boom days. Russell Wilson hasn't won a Super Bowl since he got paid a big contract.
Yeah, well, that happens to a lot of quarterbacks.
So you're taking Denver?
I'm taking Houston.
All right, just making sure.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
And, oh, by the way, just in case he's still listening, Rudy J., I got Oregon tonight. Flight by Yingling, my friend, in the studio Monday.
All right, prime picks on the Blitz. We do it normally at 5, but at 5 o'clock today. So 45 minutes or so from right now, we have tickets to give away to next week's big game between the Cowboys and the Eagles that we will give away at 5 o'clock here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Of course, the Cowboys with a massive win last night over the Seattle Seahawks. We're talking about it next here live out at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. If you're shopping for a new vehicle this weekend, you need to go see my friends at Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck, part of the Ancira Itonado complex. Very easy for me to tell you about and recommend Ancira because I am a longtime Ancira customer, and it's because of their great customer service before, during, and most importantly, after the sale. That great customer service is why Ancira has been a top family-run dealership in San Antonio for decades. And Price made Ancira number one. Price keeps Ancira number one. So think Ancira. Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck, part of the Ancira Itonado complex on I-10 West between Wurzbach and Huebner.
It's R&R in the morning.
Monday on R&R in the morning, we're joined by ESPN NFL insider Todd Archer at 7:30. And the college football playoff is set. Who's going in and who's going home?
Crazy weekend of football, and NFL really didn't play a role but for the 49ers and Philadelphia. Man, cannot wait. The party starts at 6.
It's your wake-up call. R&R in the morning, 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
There we go. Here comes the Sandman.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Adam Sandler.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The I Missed You Tour.
Should we clap along? I'm going to play guitar a little bit for you.
Adam Sandler. Live.
Take him away.
Frost Bank Center, December 7th.
All right, let's lose that. I hate it. Sorry.
Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Over the past decade, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. Football, basketball, all the UFC fights. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Celebrating 10 years in business, the Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant there at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Your floors can go from clean to dirty fast. From juice spills, whoops,
to muddy paw prints to little sticky finger marks. Good thing your Swiffer Wet Jet works fast too. Swiffer Wet Jet easily cleans everyday messes as quick as they happen. The next mess is right around the corner. So grab your Swiffer Wet Jet and just spray, push, all clean.
It's Macy's Friends and Family Sale. Take an extra 30% off gift ideas from designers they'll love and 15% off beauty, skincare, and fragrance gift sets when you use your coupon or Macy's card. That's on top of great deals like women's holiday dresses, $150 and under. Plus, shop the season's hottest toys from Monster High, Discovery, and more, 10 to 50% off. Download the free Macy's app for more savings at Macy's. Savings off regular sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
I was crossing the street when I met the love of my life. I chased after her. Nothing would stand in my way. Not the dog walker, nor the hot dog vendor. Finally reaching her, I asked, "What do you call that amazing smell?"
It's Gain Flings.
Gain Flings. My love had a name, but more importantly, it had a scent.
Fall in love with Gain Flings. Seriously good scent. Gain Flings with 50% more freshness ingredients versus leading bargain detergent.
Hi, what brings you to the clinic today?
Oh, the baby's not feeling well. I think she might have a fever.
Well, let's check her temp with the Exergen thermometer. You're right. These Exergen thermometers are very accurate. Reads 101.2.
Oh, gosh. Well, that Exergen thermometer sure is fast and easy to use.
Yes, and many doctors recommend Exergen for home use.
Exergen thermometers, backed by over 100 clinical studies, are available at Walmart and participating retailers. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Oh, I love this restaurant. Glad we got a table quickly.
What does that sign say?
Caution, wet floor?
No, right next to it.
If you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of serious consequences from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60. I didn't know that.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. RSV vaccines, including Pfizer's, are available. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help, so you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Check out the Jim Rome Show, weekdays at noon.
If you're San Antonio, there are benefits that come along with it. I will cut you the front of the line. We're going to hike the return.
On 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Blue when I fall through, a lot do not like us. We can take it to the next spot. They yelling like Prescott. Everybody like, there ain't no breaks, no rest stop. We trying to get your head chopped. The whole club yelling, everybody, 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 everybody.
There we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Mannix. Live out at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road on this Football Friday with a big conference championship game tonight, Oregon and Washington. And I tell you what, last night this place was packed as well for Seahawks Cowboys, which turned out to be an incredible game, and a game I think that the Cowboys needed to have. You know, a dogfight kind of game, and they win it. Because all the blowouts and all of that kind of stuff, being a big game, winning a big moment, make big-time plays when they matter, and Dallas did it. And after the game, because the Cowboys got that accomplished, Dak Prescott does the, I don't want to say podium, the set with Prime in their post-game show. And we got an answer to a question that I think a lot of you have had, including Joe Reinagel. Where in the hell did this "here we go" come from?
I got to ask a question. I'm sorry. I've been getting texts all night because I don't know the answer. Maybe these guys already know. The cadence of the snap. Here we go. Where does that come from? And I can't get it out of my head, by the way. Now, here we go all night.
Yeah, there's a song about it now. It's taken off. Really, we just wanted to make sure that we're all getting off on the same use the cadence to our ability. And the linemen wanted a little something before, I guess, you know, for me, really, it's to tell them, hey, stop the communicating. Here we go. Like
those linemen always requesting.
Was it you that made it up, or was it McCarthy, or was it?
I think it was the coaches.
Here we go.
I think it was the coaches. Yeah,
Okay.
early in the offseason,
awesome.
and
Sounds good.
they're getting together, and I'm like, we're starting off like this. It's going to be a long offseason.
Okay, then do a
We figured it
walk-off
out.
cadence to get us out of here.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go.
That's probably the last thing that dude wanted to do after being in a football game, saying that about 500 times on the field, and then you ask him to do it again.
You know, it's interesting. I don't think that he minds doing it, obviously, but I don't know if he wants to do it on a command. You know, it's a bar trick for that guy now. If he walks into a nice steakhouse tomorrow night or tonight somewhere in Dallas, you know, here we go. Like when you see the guy, that's what happens. His teammates are doing it all over the locker room. The Cowboys on their social media channels have put together a couple of different video bits where they're getting players to do an impression. It's becoming that thing. If they're winning, who the hell cares, right? But yeah, to do it on command, you know, it's like you on a Tuesday, somebody wants you to do a hump day. No, it only works on Wednesday. Like for Dak, it only works during the game.
I can be had, though. I mean, you know, it's okay.
I mean, you know, for a small fee, he doesn't need a small fee, right?
Look, I think that, first of all, Dak's just not walking into a steakhouse. I would imagine he probably comes through a different door and is set up in a room by himself. But Sheldon's got $1 out. Is there a pole around here somewhere?
Well, actually, there is. It's right over there.
Oh, there sure is.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Unfortunately,
after
I've
the
seen
show.
James Pledger on that pole.
But I think it's funny. And I mean, look, Dak ought to have embraced that. If fans around, you know, are saying that and they're winning and everything's fine, he ought to embrace it. It's good. Song about it, I don't think he minds. And I think, you know, if you see Dak walking down the street or wherever he may be, give him a little, here we go.
Well, that's what it's going to be. I mean, especially as they're winning games. I mean, it went from kind of annoying to now it's a lot of fun and it's a thing. You know, you're at a bar, you hear people saying it all the time. Big plays, it becomes, here we go. And if that becomes the chant, the mantra of this year's Dallas Cowboys football team, so be it, because they're playing great football. And you get a game like what you had last night, where Dan Quinn's great defense did not show up. That man got out-coached and out-schemed by his former boss. The defense did not play to the level we expect, yet the Cowboys were able to win the game because Dak Prescott put that team on his back and carried them to victory.
That's the only reason they did that. Because you're right, the defense was not playing well. They finally stepped up at the towards the latter half of the football game and did a good job. But I mean, you know, you got to wonder now. If I'm Philadelphia, if I'm Buffalo, if I'm Miami, I'm watching that game film. What did Pete Carroll do that confused that defense? Because they haven't looked that bad all year. One game they did at San Francisco. So San Francisco doesn't really have to look at anything. They know what to do. But, I mean, seriously, you got to look at that and say, what were they doing? I thought it was very interesting. Kirk Herbstreit, at one point during the game, said, look, this big Seattle offensive line is a lot bigger than that Cowboys defensive line, and they're wearing them out. And I think that was part of it. I
mean, it might be part of it in 3 games in 12 days. Were they running out of gas? All of that's true, but everybody seems to have that kind of 3 and 12 kind of schedule, and the Cowboys had 2 of those at home. So I don't give a damn if they were tired. They shouldn't be, and it's not like it's an unusual schedule for them. The Cowboys go through this every year, and Mike McCarthy constantly tells us how prepared he is for this schedule and making sure guys get plenty of rest. So I'm more on the side of, I think a lot of those players maybe went into that game thinking, like most fans did, that Seattle's, while they do have a 6-5 record, they've lost a couple, maybe they're not very good. Seattle needed that game more than Dallas because their playoff hopes, serious last night coupled with their upcoming schedule. They played last night as if their playoff lives depended on it, and they played great. They had a great plan. That defensive line was getting pressure. I mean, Geno Smith was pressured on 54% of those passes, according to the Next Gen stats, but he got rid of the ball quicker than he normally does. But there were times where he was trying to hit the home run. Geno played great. They ran the ball well, surprisingly, or maybe not when you look at the run defense. But without Walker, they ran the ball better than I thought they would. But neither team could get a stop. There was not a punt in the game last night.
Well, that's because there were about 500 penalties in that game last night, which was just ridiculous. I mean, I cannot believe some of the calls that were made last night. And I'm not sitting here saying it favored one side or the other. I think Seattle was called for 10, Dallas called for 9. There were 25 penalties called in that game last night, and only 19 accepted. But some of them were at crucial times of the ball game for both teams. And I tell you what, that was one of those, and I'm not a guy to get on the officials. I'm really not. But when you look at what happened, it just changed, took the momentum completely away in the third quarter from Seattle because they had 3 or 4 either pass interference or defensive holding calls against them that really, when you looked at them, you didn't have to do that, and not necessary. You let these guys play, and I think the officials last night were really overzealous.
Well, and again, I mean, the only thing I will say about last night's officiating, because it was awful, and nobody wants to see that many flags in any game. It was fairly evenly called, 10-9, Seattle to Dallas on accepted penalties at the least. But what I did appreciate is what they called as a penalty in the first quarter, they called in the fourth quarter. They called a consistent game. And as a player, at some point when you're seeing that called in the first quarter, to think that you might get away with it in the fourth quarter is on you. So some of those penalties that we saw late in the game, it's not like that wasn't a penalty in the first quarter. It was. So, and I think that's where players get upset. You let me do that in the first quarter. Why aren't you letting me do that in the fourth? Or if you're an offensive player, hey, why are you holding your flag now? At least it was consistently bad through all 4 quarters of football.
Look, if you're just touching a guy on the shoulder pad, I mean, you should let that go, right? I mean, if it's not affecting anything. I mean, it's a
your HR department, Joe. You all right?
Yeah, I just spilled my water.
Good for you.
It was almost gone.
You broke your water, huh? I mean, you were getting all riled up.
Well, I am. What I don't understand is
there's been spills at the Roo Pub before. It's okay.
Well, I'm not worried about it. But what?
There's all that electronic stuff over there.
There's no electronic. There's some food over there, I think. But what I get upset about is you've got, at some point in time, you got to let these guys play football. And some of the calls that were made on both sides, and again, I'm not saying either team benefited more than the other from the penalties. And consistency, okay, but you shouldn't have been calling it that way to begin with. I mean, it's just nobody is watching a football game to watch 25 penalty flags thrown in a football. It's ridiculous. Nobody wants to see that. And it's just you gotta pick your spots. And if it's ticky-tack, let it be ticky-tack and let them play.
Yeah, egregious, I'm down for. Ticky-tack, I'm not. Because they're even I'm a Cowboy fan. I'm like, I can't believe they just called that against Seattle. It benefited my team, and I was a little embarrassed on some of the calls that we saw last night. Cowboys-Eagles tickets, we've got a pair that we are going to give away just after 5 o'clock. So 28 minutes from right now, you want to win tickets to go see the Cowboys and Eagles next Sunday. Make sure you're by your radio in the next 30 minutes. You think about the NBA in-season tournament and the NBA season that's going on. Spurs on the road tonight against New Orleans. No Wemby tonight, but you want to give you another reason to watch. Stay into the game. Make sure you go download the Underdog Fantasy app or go to UnderdogFantasy.com. I love playing the Pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy because you can win real cash money while it is a fantasy game, and it is legal in Texas, but a ton of fun to play because you pick between 2 and 5 players to build your Pick'em entry. I generally go with either 3 or 4 up to 20 times your money in a single game by going 5 for 5. And all you have to do is select whether you think a player is going to be higher or lower their predicted stats. Sign up today, use my promo code STAR, and Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. Plus, new customers will have a mystery special pick live in their Pick'em lobby. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Go download the Underdog Fantasy app or go to the website, underdogfantasy.com. And don't forget to sign up using my promo code STAR.
San Antonio is one of my homes away from home.
It's the Jim Rome Show.
It is great to be home. And I said home.
Weekdays at noon on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The holiday season is right around the corner. So give the gift that's hard to wrap, but easy to give. Give them a Steel. With powerful trimmers, blowers, and chainsaws to place under the tree, the Steel Holiday Gift Guide has something for everyone. Save $30 on the BG56 CE handheld blower. Visit your local Steel dealer or go to steelusa.com/gift guide. Real Steel. Find yours. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
A lot of schools talk about training the cybersecurity workforce of the future, but do they really deliver? My Computer Career has been supplying the IT workforce with thousands of skilled, certified pros for 15 years. Train with the experts in support, networking, or cybersecurity and start your career in months, not years. Upskill even faster. On campus or live online. Qualified students may get financial aid, including the GI Bill. My Computer Career. Accredited, acclaimed, effective. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu.
As the weather gets colder, the NFL offers Stay Hot on FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/win. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
Must be 21 plus in President State where lawful to wager. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino LLC. First online real money wager only $5 pregame money line wager required. First online real money wager only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG in Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Virginia. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona, 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana, 1-800-522-4700. Visit KSGamblingHelp.com in Kansas. 1-877-770-STOP in Louisiana. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia or call 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming. Help is here. Visit gamblinghelpma.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.
There are good gifts, and then there are great gifts. I just shopped at Kohl's, and let me tell you, I found some really great gifts. And all for less, like 50% off Cuddle Duds bedding, a Ninja Blast portable blender for under $60, and 30% off toys. Then I got 20% off some of my finds, and I earned Kohl's cash. Don't just take it from me. Hurry to Kohl's to get the best gifts for everyone on your list. Select styles, toys, coupons do not apply. Some exclusions apply. Offers end December 6th. 20% off valid through December 10th. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides 24/7 compassionate support and connection to trained counselors. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. The Lifeline works. You are not alone. For 24/7 support, just call, text, or chat 988.
Hey folks, Steve Brent's here at beautiful Winans Creek Ranch in Bandera, inviting you to our holiday land sale event going on right now. It's the best time of the year to get an incredible deal on a gorgeous 10 to 15 acre luxury ranch home site here at Winans Creek. Take advantage of deep discounts and terrific bank and special below market seller financing. Plus, ask us about our closing cost bonus offers, saving you even more during our sale. Winans Creek features secluded private settings, spectacular 30-mile views, a gorgeous creekfront park, as well as paved roads, high-speed internet, electric, and more. Plus, Winans qualifies for low ag exempt taxes. The rush of the holidays will be here soon, but there's still time to get a great deal on your 10 to 15 acre luxury ranch home site you've always dreamed of. So come out and see me today at Winans Creek Ranch, and we'll help put together an incredible deal that will make your holidays bright. Give us a call at 866-952-6323 or go to WinansCreekRanch.com.
No one does half hour like
The cocktails to extensive bourbon categories that you will not believe. Their top shelf spirits and cocktails served over those icy balls cannot be matched. Twin Peaks has you covered. And don't forget about the 29-degree man-sized drafts.
It's the Awesome Tickets Pro Football Pick'em Challenge on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your shot at $50,000 nationally, while weekly winners locally get a $50 gift card to Five Oaks Ace Hardware on Thousand Oaks. At the end of the season, locally, the best overall record wins the San Antonio Grand Prize of $1,000 worth of tickets to any event from Awesome Tickets. Sign up today at sasportstar.com.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Ryan Eagle. I'm Jason Minix, live out at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road on this football Friday. We got football tonight, Oregon and Washington. Watch it here at the Roo. You can listen to it on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Don't forget, if you do some grilling this weekend, you know you're going to take photos of that meat on your grill. Make sure you upload them to sasportstar.com because every Thursday we judge meat and give away a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market.
Yeah, that's my second favorite day of the week besides Wednesday.
Yeah.
We could judge meat on Thursday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we can
Always
do.
like my
you know,
meat
it's
big.
interesting when you think about how the Cowboys just need – and like I said, I going into the game yesterday, you go back and you can listen to yesterday's show. We talked about this kind of almost maybe a trap game feel. Everybody's thinking that the Cowboys are just going to blow out Seattle. They're a good team playing for their playoff lives, but the Cowboys needed a tough game like that where they can get away with a win. Mike McCarthy said last night after the game they needed a game like that.
Well, I told the team after the game that we need games like this. I mean, this is what December football looks like, and we all understand what's in front of us because you have to win the close games. I mean, to get to where you want to go, you have to win these kind of games, and this was a great example of how you just keep hanging in there and keep playing. I think at halftime, and we were frustrated. We had a lot of penalties called, and I think our guys just knuckled down and played, and they had some big plays there in the third quarter. But once the fourth quarter came, our guys got it done at the most important time.
Yeah, they did. I mean, aided by Seattle. I think when they scored that touchdown, I tweeted out, not tweeted out, but in our group chat, how Seattle gifted the Cowboys that touchdown. That was that stretch where it was bad. The first half, the Cowboys were victims of some quick flags. So it went both ways. But, I mean, it was just – and even McCarthy's got to be frustrated by that. When you see that, I know Pete Carroll was because he said something about it in his post-game interview. And it's just it's hard to get into a rhythm of either team if you're having to stop every play to figure out what the penalty was.
Well, and again, I mean, both teams are heavily penalized traditionally, so it's not a surprise that Mike McCarthy is answering questions again about the amount of penalties that his team gets. But again, overcoming that in a dogfight kind of game, I think all of that was good for the Dallas Cowboys, but way too much officiating being talked about. But that, I think, last night was more on the officials. Chuck wants to talk about the officials as well. Chuck, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Well, I just want to say I think you guys are wrong. There's a lot of people out there that tune in to watch these football games who are big fans of officiating. We want to see more flags, more penalties. I'm a big fan of Cleet Blakeman, and he was all over the TV last night. That's why I tune in to watch the referees.
Everybody, Chuck, has a fetish. Everybody has a fetish and an opinion. And I'm glad that you're a fan of the officials, and tell Uncle Clayton it was good to see him on TV. Get another shot and beer over there in the corner over here at the Roo Pub. It was a great call.
That was a great call. I'm glad to know that there's a fan of the Stripe guys. Look, I'm not a non-fan of officials. I like officials. They're necessary. I like them.
Are they?
Yes,
you like
they are. They're necessary, yes.
Except for when you see too much of them?
No, they've got to know their place, though. Nobody is paying
their place
money.
is to enforce the rules,
but
not say, well, this flag's going to piss off Joe. I'm not going to throw the flag.
Their place is to let the players play. That's that's their place.
Within the rules.
Well, dude, if they wanted to, they could call holding on every play.
Well,
every single play, but they don't do that. Well, defensive holding on the backs, poor Tyreek Woolen didn't know what to do. I mean, that poor guy was like, he breathed on CeeDee Lamb. Flag.
See, now, I'm going to pretend to be Rudy J here. That's one of the reasons why Deron Bland had such a bad game last night is he didn't want to get close to a guy that he was supposed to cover for fear of getting a penalty. So instead, he gave up a lot of big passes.
No, Deron Bland couldn't find a helmet big enough for his head last night after he won Defensive Player of the Month. And everybody's like, whoa, Deron Bland, you're the greatest. And then all of a sudden it went to his head.
He's in the MVP conversation.
Well, not anymore. He may have been yesterday before the game. I don't think he's in there anymore.
Dude, I look at Deron Bland last night, and I'll give him credit for the short memory. That interception was incredible.
It was good.
But had he not gotten that interception, that would have been a touchdown. And last night, against those three really good Seattle Seahawks receivers, last night, I missed Diggs. That was the first game that I really felt like, man, this is where Diggs would be a major player because neither Bland nor Gilmore could cover DK Metcalf. And Diggs.
Well, I don't know many people that can cover
but
DK
Diggs
Metcalf.
would have been better than both of those guys. I mean, Diggs was getting turned around by Tyler Lockett, who is a professional route runner. But when you look at last night, since Diggs left with the injury, kind of felt like the first time you go, damn, I missed that guy. And it wasn't necessarily because Bland was giving up big plays, but they all were because you couldn't cover those three receivers.
Well, and I think that's going to be a problem for the Cowboys moving forward, whether they have Diggs or not. Guy like Deebo Samuel, he's a tough cover for everybody, including the Dallas Cowboys. And so those big receivers like Seattle has they're difficult for Dallas. So that's, moving forward, that's something that's got to be addressed. Look, that defense, although they played well against Cupcakes, maybe they're not as good as we think. They're certainly not historic. I'm glad we put that to rest.
Well, that went to bed as soon as Diggs got hurt, and so did Leighton Vander.
Oh, my gosh, Diggs.
Dude, seriously, he's one of the best players in the league at his position.
Well, I thought Deron Bland was replacing Diggs at some point in time.
Only in Rudy J's dreams.
Oh, that's Rudy J saying that. Okay. Look, I'm not sure they're as good as.
Hold on, can we call out Rudy J for a minute?
Sure.
I hope he's still watching on YouTube.
I've got no problem.
And Rudy, Rudy, you know the phone number. There was a play last night, late, a fourth down play in which the pressure came so fast, Geno just skied a ball. And Bland dropped what would have been an interception, which was the wise thing to do because it would have cost him yardage. And Rudy in our group chat goes, there goes my man Bland, as if he had anything to do with that play being what it was. The guy has a man crush on Bland almost as big as you have on Jake Ferguson.
Well, I mean, at least my guy performed last night. The guy was incredible.
Bland had a pick.
Bland was horrible last night. Ferguson, that dude he was a monster.
He was
a monster. And that catch he made for the touchdown, bailing out Dak Prescott. It would have been a pick had he not gone in there.
What do you mean it would have been a pick?
It would have been a pick had he not done that.
It was a great pass and a great catch.
It was a good catch. I'm not sure about the pass.
Are you kidding?
I'm not kidding.
Dude, Dak Prescott was incredible last night. Dak Prescott threw he could have had a couple of more touchdowns last night.
Well, so did Geno Smith.
Well, hell, Geno had 3 on consecutive plays. But Tony Pollard had a touchdown pass, hit him in the face, and he dropped it. CeeDee Lamb had one go right through his hands. But
he dropped 2 last night.
Yeah, especially that one on fourth down. But I look at what you saw from Dak Prescott last night, the play that he had. Dak Prescott is the reason the Cowboys won that game last night. And it feels good to be able to say that about your quarterback because for so long, the defense played well and the Cowboys would win, or they would come up short in the game like they did against Philadelphia because Dak stepped out of bounds. Dak Prescott put that team on his back last night, and carried them to a win on a night where Dan Quinn's defense got torched.
I have no argument with that. Dak Prescott played well last night. But the problem is, and you should be concerned, and every Cowboy fan should, was that defense exposed last night? Was there something that Seattle showed that exposed that defense? Look, they still can't stop the run. It was Charbonnet was torching them. And I don't know what he ended up with until he got hurt. But
yeah, 60 yards on 20 carries, 3.2 average.
Well, that's not bad. Torched. And then he caught a ball out of the backfield that
that doesn't count against the run. He had one catch for 39 yards.
All I'm saying is, would they give up 35 points? That's a problem.
Well, no, but I mean, you just said that they got torched in the run game.
They did.
He got 60 yards. They had 72
Sounds
yards
like a
rushing
torch
as
to
a
me.
team.
I don't know.
Oh, that's a torch.
Dude, they gave up 35 points.
All right, but it wasn't through the run game.
Okay, so what was it?
Well, I mean, obviously the 334 yards passing.
Okay, there you go.
I mean,
they gave up 35 points is my point. Are we back to the Cowboys now but outscore everybody?
They did last night.
They did.
I mean, but again, you look at what the Cowboys, I mean, there was a weird tweet from Micah Parsons. Nobody plays us the same. Watch the film. Well, dude, give them credit for going, all right, this is what you do. This is how we think we can beat you. We're going to go beat you. They got rid of the ball so quick that neutralized the pass rush. They got a lot of pressure on Geno, but they never got him to the ground because of the quick throws. That was a great offensive design by Pete Carroll and their offensive staff, and Geno Smith executed it. I mean, give them a lot of credit. Neither defense got a stop last night. Hell, you saw a game last night that featured no punts. I mean, it was almost like an arena game.
And 25 penalties, and that's why. The penalties, the reason nobody punted. I mean, because both teams got bailed out on third downs, so they didn't have to punt, and they get a first.
And until the fourth quarter, the Cowboys' defense, when they needed it, 3 straight possessions got turnover on downs to get a win.
Well, I question the play calling there. Running the football was at 4th and 2. What makes you think the Charbonnet can get that?
Well, I mean,
seriously,
you can question. I mean, you question every play call that doesn't work. We all do, right? I mean,
no.
Can you not question? It's 4th down, games on the line. Let's not block Micah Parsons.
Well, I mean, that was stupid.
Brilliant, right? Brilliant.
And
right?
on that other 4th down, they didn't block DeMarcus Lawrence.
I mean, brilliant, right? I mean, but when you look at it, I mean, yeah. But if those plays would have worked, I mean, you question things. But I wonder, though, last night at the end of the game, the Dallas Cowboys have a chance to burn a bunch of clock. And on 3rd down, Seattle has no timeouts. They throw a pass, and a low percentage pass at that. They went for the nail in the coffin if they make that catch. And here's the thing. If it works, it's brilliant. If it doesn't work, I'm bitching about it. So I'm bitching about it because it didn't work, right? They didn't get the touchdown. They get a touchdown there. It's 2-possession game, minute and a half to go, game over. But what the hell was Mike McCarthy thinking? Now, I joked on Twitter last night. I tweeted out that he have the Cowboys at 9.5. Is he trying to go for the cover there? Because you kick a field goal, you're up 6, a touchdown beats you. So why not run the ball there? Maybe you pick up a first down, but Seattle can't stop the clock. So you're going to take 40 seconds off the clock. You kick the field goal, and there's less time for Seattle to march down the field needing a touchdown to win. In my mind, that was a signal, honestly, that Mike McCarthy did not trust his defense last night.
I think Mike McCarthy, and I totally agree. They should have run the football there because, Seattle can't stop the clock. They're going to have a minute or even less than that when they get the football back and still having to score a touchdown to win it. So I'm not sure exactly what McCarthy was thinking there. And I don't know if he addressed that or if anybody asked him about that last night. But that was a weird deal. And look, when Seattle got the ball, I think they popped off a couple of first downs. They were at midfield until the Cowboys finally stopped him.
Big old pass to Noah Fant for up to the 45-yard line, and now you're thinking, but they still needed a touchdown to win.
They did.
And then, of course, ultimately, the Cowboys defense got the stop on 4th down. And so as bad as the defense was last night, in that 4th quarter, they only gave up 1 touchdown, and they got 3 turnover on downs. So, as bad as that defense was, in crunch time, they made the plays when they had to make them to get that win.
No argument. They won the game. And you know what? They found a way to win it. I'm going to give them all the credit that they deserve. Dak played well. They got the win. They found a way to win the football game. And now the season starts for the Dallas Cowboys.
How much does that hurt you?
Not at all.
You sure?
See, y'all just think that I bitch about everything. Now, while I enjoy that part of this job, it's not. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. I'll hammer Dak Prescott when he deserves it. Dak Prescott is he might be the best regular season quarterback of all time. The guy is awesome in the regular season.
I think that belongs to Phillip Rivers.
Well, maybe. No, Dak. When Dak has about 20 more kids, then you could compare him to Phillip Rivers.
I'm talking about regular season wins. Not home wins.
Boy, now that's sad, isn't it? You're going to compare Dak to Phillip Rivers?
Is that not a good comparison?
I don't know.
I mean, great regular season, no postseason success.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what as much as I love Dak Prescott, dude's got to get it done in the playoffs. But what I saw last night, I don't want to sound like Joe Reiniger, where I begrudgingly have to give him credit. Because,
you do.
You just say that like, you've been at the dentist office. I begrudgingly.
I give them credit.
Guess I'll give them credit.
Where credit is due.
Yeah,
they found a way to win the game.
Yeah.
That's what we talk about Philadelphia, right?
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
That's
James They found a way to win the game, and Dak played a good game. There you go. The season begins next Sunday.
And next Sunday, they've got the Eagles.
Yep.
At Jerry World. We got a pair of tickets to that game that we are going to give away right now. We're doing Cowboy trivia. Grab a line, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. We're giving away those tickets next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
First, I got to tell you about my good friends at Stevens Roofing. I've been talking about Stevens Roofing for a long time now, and proud to do so. Look, they're a family-owned company, a local company, been in business for a long time, and they're not going anywhere. They will stay there, and that means they're doing the job right. They've got a lot of satisfied customers, and now is the time to get your roof checked out. Look, they'll send somebody out there to check it for you for free. Estimates are always free. They'll check your roof for free. Let them do it. Make sure that roof is safe and secure for the winter ahead. I keep hearing it's going to be a cold, wet winter. Not sure, but that's what I'm hearing. So you want to make sure your roof is under control. Plus, you're probably going to have family in town over the holidays. Make sure your roof is safe and secure. Do it with Stevens Roofing, your local roofer. You can get them online at stevensroofing.net or give them a call at 210-785-0994. Buy local, stay local, trust local with Stevens Roofing. That's their saying. The phone number to call, 210-785-0994.
It's almost that time. Home for the holidays. Get your mortgage or rent paid for an entire year. Increase your chance of winning by also getting your friends entered socially. Make this holiday season the best ever. Just visit sasportstar.com and get signed up. One national winner could win up to $18,000 and pay their rent or mortgage in 2024. Official rules and sign up at sasportstar.com.
Train heating and cooling systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent train dealer. Traininfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
It can happen in an instant. A car accident can change your life forever. From serious injuries to mounting medical bills to battling insurance companies. Accidents make life harder than it should be. If you've been in an accident, George Salinas Injury Lawyers are here for you. They're local, experienced experienced, and ready to fight for results that make a difference. If you've been injured, don't call just any lawyer. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers at 210-225-0909 or visit georgesalinas.com.
George gets justice. For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now, and the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, I love this restaurant. Glad we got a table quickly. What does that sign say? Caution, wet floor? No, right next to it. If you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of serious consequences from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60. I didn't know that.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. RSV vaccines, including Pfizer's, are available. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Here we go.
Here comes the Sandman,
Ladies and gentlemen.
Adam Sandler.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The I Missed You Tour.
Should we clap along? I'm going to play guitar a little bit for you.
Adam Sandler, live. Frost Bank Center, December 7th.
All right, let's lose that. I hate it.
Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit, hims.com/joy.
This is Jim Rome. Have a take, don't suck on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Spurs are back at it tonight after a tough loss at home last night. They are in New Orleans to take on the Pelicans without Victor Wembanyama. He's going to sit out tonight with hip soreness. Tip-off from New Orleans set for 7 o'clock. College Football Conference Championship games begin tonight. Pac-12 Conference Championship is tonight. Oregon taking on Washington. You can listen to that game right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix on a Friday afternoon hanging out at the Roo Pub.
Not a better place to be on a Friday afternoon, is there?
There really isn't. And
no.
Getting ready for tonight's Washington-Oregon game, the Pac-12 Championship game, doing a preview of it right now. That's going to be a fun game tonight. If you're not watching it here with us at the Roo, you can listen to it on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Jon Machota from The Athletic will join us in about 15 minutes or so to talk about last night's big win over the Seahawks for the Cowboys. But it was always, let's get to next week. Cowboys, Eagles.
Yeah.
That's the game of the week of the year.
Well, no doubt. I mean, that's when the gauntlet starts. The next 4 games for the Cowboys will tell a lot.
The gauntlet started last night.
No, it didn't.
Why?
No, it starts next. Then they go on the road. We'll see how they play in about 30 below zero in Buffalo.
I love how you move the goalpost constantly.
Oh, yeah, I'm moving the goalpost.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. You want to win that Cowboys Eagles tickets? You got to know your Cowboys.
I think we got some folks over here that might want to get involved.
Oh, they want involved?
Yeah.
Greg, do we have microphones set up and ready to go so we could? So what we'll do is if you're here at the Roo, we'll ask you a question, alternate with somebody on the phone. But you guys line up over here at this table by my empty 5-hour energy bottle.
Yeah,
so
right over there. Yes.
We know where it is. We'll go first in line there.
Yeah.
Who's first? Who's first? Somebody.
You want to go first?
Be first. All right, you're first up. What's your name, man? Johnny first. You got our engineer to turn on the microphone. All right, Johnny. How well do you know your Cowboys?
Pretty well, I think. We'll see.
Pretty well, you think. All right. Cowboys have won 14 straight games at home. What is the Cowboys' record for consecutive home wins?
14.
14 is not it.
That's not it, but good try.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming out, Johnny. Appreciate it.
Exactly. Greg, is there a way to fix that to where it's not so echoey on that microphone? I mean, you are an engineer. How can we do that? All right, let's go to the phone lines. Ryan, you are on the Blitz. How well do you know your Cowboys?
I think pretty well.
You think pretty well. All right. Now, last week, there was some, what's the word I'm looking for? Somebody said something
controversy.
Wasn't quite right. I wasn't controversy, but basically we will ask you enough about whatever the question is to make sure you know it. You've got to get all the facts right.
Exactly.
So if you get part of it right, you're out.
Okay.
You know what I mean? There's a whole part of this next question. You got to know it all to get these Cowboys Eagles tickets.
All right, you ready? Here we go.
Yeah.
What led Tony Romo to say, quote, "If this is the worst thing that will ever happen to me, then I've lived a pretty good life"?
Interception.
Yeah, that would not be
Nah, that would not be it, though.
That would not be.
Thanks for playing.
I mean, that dude threw way too many receptions for that to be part of the case. All right, who's next here inside the Roo Pub? All right.
What's your name?
Alex.
Hi, Alex. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Good,
Alex,
good.
How well do you know your Cowboys?
I love them, but hopefully I know them well enough to answer the question.
All right.
Well, I'm wondering if I mean, because I know she hasn't Googled anything because I've watched.
No, she hasn't.
She's not Googled anything. Because some of these other questions are too good. I hate to say that I have no confidence that you're going to get this right. I don't want to waste one of the good questions, right? So what is the Cowboys' record for consecutive home wins?
14.
That would be incorrect. That was his
That's
answer.
what he said.
That's exactly
You should have at least said
what
something
he said.
else. That's all right. Good try,
And
though.
by the way, I will never answer that question. That guy in the gray, put your phone down or I won't ask you anything. All right, let's go back to the phones. Britton, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hello.
Brit.
Yeah.
Is this Britton?
This
How
is
well
Britton.
do you know the Cowboys, Britton?
Man, I think I used to know him better than I used to know him better. I'm getting old these days, but let's try.
All right. So how about this one here, Minix? What do you think?
I don't know what you're pointing at, but go ahead.
All right, here we go. All right. Who was the kicker that Buddy Ryan had a $200 bounty on during Bounty Bowl in 1989?
Oh, gosh. I'm going to have to go with Luis and Diaz.
Yes.
You got it.
You got it.
Wow.
That is correct, man.
How about that?
Man, this is awesome.
It
I
had
haven't
to be
been
the way I
to the
read
new
the question.
stadium. No,
You've never been to the new stadium? Man, that is awesome.
No.
Not only are you get 2 tickets, you get to go to a hell of a game next Sunday night, Cowboys and Eagles. Hang on the line. Pledge has to get some information from you.
Congratulations, though. My goodness.
Exactly.
Wow.
And all these people now feeling like, oh, man.
I know it. It's that easy. I don't know what you guys were worried about.
You know what we're going to do next week?
What's that?
Give away tickets to go see the Cowboys and Lions.
Jimmy Johnson Day.
Yeah.
How
As he
about
goes
that?
into the Ring of Honor on the 30th.
Well, that'll be good. I honestly didn't think anybody would get that Buddy Ryan
Luis
question.
Sendejas?
Yeah.
Do you know who the other person was involved in Bounty Gate?
No.
Troy Aikman.
Was he? So,
yeah.
Buddy had a bounty on Troy?
Bounty Bowl 1 and Bounty Bowl 2, because Bounty Gate was technically Sean Payton, your favorite, and the New Orleans Saints.
Well, yeah, see? Donkey.
What do you mean?
What a donkey that guy is.
Man.
And you want him as your head coach.
And we had a couple more good questions to go with.
Dude, I know. We got to save these. Some of these are really good. I thought we were going to keep going for a while, but congratulations. That's good. And you're right. I can't wait now to give away those tickets to the Detroit Lions game.
Yeah, we'll do that next Friday. By the way, next Friday. Or is it next Friday we're going to do
I don't know.
Or next Monday?
Is it next Friday pledge or next Monday?
I think it's next Monday. It's the day after the game. It's the day after the game.
Okay.
Is what we're going to.
Well, it must be Monday then.
So Monday.
Yeah.
When we get back from Boston for the Army-Navy
That's
game,
right. Yeah.
which is where we're going to be.
Yeah.
Next Thursday and Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doing some shows.
Some special shows on Saturday, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Well, it's not shows. It's one show, just hours.
Show.
Yeah.
What's the difference? You know what I was talking about.
Well, I was to make sure they did. I mean,
Well, they know what I'm
saying.
saying.
Shows, it sounds like more than one.
Although this guy with the Rangers hat on, you think he's a bandwagon guy?
He says no.
Well, of course he says no.
I mean, that's not a brand new hat or anything.
I think still got the tag from Academy on it.
Jon Machota from The Athletic will join us next here on the Blitz to talk about last night's Cowboys win over the Seattle Seahawks. You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, you know the best way to do that is to call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
Good times once again in San Antonio. I appreciate you. It is so good to be home. I needed San Antonio. I'm going to do the best I can to make sure that I give you guys a fire lead in.
It's the Jim Rome Show, back in the Military City, weekdays at noon.
Hey, Jim Rome here.
Have a take, San Antonio, and certainly do not suck.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call BS on that. Come on.
It's the Jim Rome Show, weekdays at noon on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It's that time of year. The kids are back in school, and it won't be long before they're bringing home more than just homework. Colds, flu, and viruses are making their rounds, along with miserable seasonal allergies. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage, the nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, and germs. Navage helps provide natural, immediate relief. Listen to the words of Michelle, a verified Navage user. I've had problems for as long as I can remember and finally found this wonderful product. What a difference it has made. I am so excited about this. I tell everyone, thank you, unquote. This cold and flu season, join nearly 4 million people and experience how Navage can help you breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
As the weather gets colder, the NFL offers Stay Hot on FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/win. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
Must be 21 plus in President State where lawful to wager. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino LLC. First on money wager only $5. Real money wager only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG in Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Virginia. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona, 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana, 1-800-522-4700. Visit KSGamblingHelp.com in Kansas. 1-877-770-STOP in Louisiana. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia or call 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming. Help is here. Visit gamblinghelpma.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.
Don't go through another year with that awful joint pain. Call QC Kinetics right now and make 2024 the year you go back to living a normal life again. Hey, it's James Pudger with San Antonio Sports Star. QC Kinetics can give you your life back. They're the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. These are all natural treatments that can repair and restore that damaged tissue, giving you pain-free movement again. QC Kinetics has tens of thousands of satisfied patients around the country. People who have had knee, back, shoulder pain, who were able to get lasting relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. If you have pain from an old injury or pain associated with arthritis, you need to check this out. The future of medicine is here with the regenerative treatments from QC Kinetics. Make the call now so you can get the most out of 2024. Get back to doing what you love, and don't forget, you can use your HSA and FSA funds. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
Lab-grown diamond wholesale prices have crashed. Huge factories in China and India have flooded the market with tens of millions of carats of lab-grown diamonds. They are so cheap that jewelers are giving them away for free with purchase. Many companies sell 1-carat lab-grown diamonds for a few $100s. But some jewelers are still selling lab diamonds for thousands of dollars. Pawn shops and jewelry stores have instruments that detect lab-grown diamonds in seconds. And just like CZs, they are very cheap to produce, and after purchase, they have no monetary value at all. America's Diamond has never sold lab-grown diamonds, and we warned our customers that wholesale prices would fall to almost nothing. Now they are so cheap that jewelers are giving them away, and wholesale prices continue to fall. America's Diamond only offers traditional, real, natural earth-grown diamonds that are rare, extremely beautiful, and have real value. See our television program tonight on ABC KSAT 12 at 12:35 a.m. or right now at americasdiamond.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Monday on R&R in the Morning, we're joined by ESPN NFL insider Todd Archer at 7:30. This college football playoff is set. Who got in and who got left out? And the Spurs are going to be taking on the Rockets. Now back to the Blitz. Jason, your fridge is full. It's time for mine. I'm taking Washington, Joe. Pay up.
Oh, Rudy. I'm with Oregon on this one. You're going to owe Ryan Eagle some beer.
Absolutely.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Ryan Eagle. I'm Jason Minix. Live at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. You can come watch tonight's Pac-12 Championship game with us here at the Roo. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. Coming up in a bit, we'll get into this. Interesting news. The University of Houston is holding a special Board of Regents meeting today. they immediately went into executive session, acting to give the chancellor the authority to hire a new football coach.
Wow.
Tillman Fertitta is listed as the presenter. We'll see if Jeff Traylor or Willie Fritz is going to end up with that job. I was thinking Willie, but if they're meeting today, maybe not. We'll follow that one. Right now, though, let's talk with Jon Machota from The Athletic, who joins us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line after the Cowboys got a win. And I tweeted this last night after the game, John. I think the Cowboys needed a dog, and they were able to get a win without playing their best football, especially on the defensive side.
I would actually say out of all the home wins they've had this year, this one is the one that might be the most impressive just because of the team that they beat and in the style that they did it in. Just because so many of those other home games, they've been so much better than the opponent. And I really think a big thing last night was just Geno Smith played great. I mean, sometimes that's going to happen. He got the ball out of his hands quickly to where Micah Parsons and Lawrence, that pass rush wasn't nearly as effective, and he was extremely accurate down the field. This morning, I've just been noticing a lot of Cowboys fans pointing to the, Deron Bland getting cooked on some plays and them not, sacking Geno as much as they have other quarterbacks. Hey, man, sometimes the other team just plays really well, and I find it difficult to think that Geno Smith has played a better game than in a while since he did last night, and so because of that, it was a dogfight. But to be able to pull that out, that just really had like a playoff game feel to it.
Well, John, I think Seattle was a desperate ball club. I mean, they needed that win. They're fighting for their playoff lives. There's no question. And I think they played like that. When you look at him, though, and he did play well, but I got to look at the other side of the coin. And I know this is going to surprise everybody that's listening, but it almost looked like we went back in a time machine where the defense wasn't so good. And Dak Prescott had to pull the Cowboys out of the fire. And he did that last night.
He really did. I mean, the run he's been on is obviously the best since he's been the Cowboys quarterback, and it's the best since probably that Romo season of 2014. That some will say is Romo's best season. And if he can keep this rolling against the Eagles and then the Dolphins and Buffalo and he's playing on this level going into the playoffs, that's the type of thing that you would need for the Cowboys to make a deep playoff run. And so, I don't know if you need to be running them at the goal line quite as much as they were yesterday. I think you can save some of that for the playoffs, but man, it just doesn't seem like anybody can do anything defensively to rattle him right now. It just seems like he's very confident in Mike McCarthy's offense. It seems like he and CeeDee Lamb are just on such an elite level right now that even on a play that Dak throws and in between three defenders and just threads the needle, CeeDee doesn't make the catch, but he's the only one that has a chance to catch that pass. There's not enough things you can say, nice things about Dak Prescott and the way he's been playing. He's just on a different level right now. It really has been since that San Francisco game. So when you have that Dak Prescott, you don't necessarily have to play great defense. And so I feel like if you're in the postseason in January, you're not just going to shut every team down, and you're not just going to outscore every team. Different teams, different styles make different fights. And I think because of that, it was a good sign to see that in a tight game like that, the offense can step up and win it.
Jon Machota from The Athletic joining us here on the Blitz. And John, to that note, Dan Quinn's defense was awful last night. Is that concerned? In a copycat league, are people going to say, well, what did Seattle do? And were they exposed last night?
Nah, I don't think so. I think they might have been a little tired off of maybe the stretch of games they've been on. I think there'd be a little bit more room for concern if they play like this again against Philadelphia, an opponent they know very well. Michael Parsons said after the game that there are some similarities when you talk about DK Metcalf kind of being like A.J. Brown and some of their other receivers having some similarities to what Philadelphia does. So because of that, and because of what they've done against Philadelphia in the past and how good those games have been, I don't think that you're going to see that same defense next Sunday night. I think they'll look more like the old defense that we've seen for most of this season, and obviously it being a big division game will probably factor in there too. I don't think that this game is some type of everyone's got them figured out now. They're just too many good players. As long as this defense can stay as healthy as they are right now, I don't think that it's going to be an issue. I think that they'll still be one of the best defenses in this league.
Well, I think the fact that the Cowboys have a mini bye is certainly going to help them against Philadelphia because, let's face it, I mean, the Eagles have a pretty physical game that they're going to have to deal with this Sunday against San Francisco. But, John, you look at that Sunday night game between the Cowboys and the Eagles, that could very well be for the lead in the NFC East. That's a huge ball game, and then obviously a huge stretch beginning for the Cowboys moving forward.
Yeah, no question. I mean, game is I don't think it's a must-win for the Eagles just because of the way the Eagles' schedule ends with, 2 Giants games and the Cardinals. I mean, the way I kind of look at it when I look at both team schedules is I think that Dallas's ceiling is 13 wins. I think Philly's basement is 13 wins. It's going to be hard to catch the Eagles even if they win next Sunday night. You look at what the two teams have different left on their schedules. It's a huge advantage for the Eagles, especially, I mean, if they can stay healthy, they look different when Lane Johnson isn't healthy, so, and they would probably look different if they didn't have Jalen Hurts out there, the MVP frontrunner. So it's going to be a huge game. And frankly, I really think the Cowboys win that game. I know that you'll have a whole week of build up and people will talk one way or the other, but just the way the Cowboys have played, I'm very confident they're going to win that game. That doesn't mean I think they're going to win the division, but I think you're going to see the best Cowboys team that you've seen this season in that game. And it's not just the way they're playing right now; it's also the way that they've played at home. There were moments last night where I was like, if this game was in Seattle, I probably would think that this is trending towards the Cowboys' loss. But because of how well they played at home, I kind of had a feeling they were going to pull that out, no matter how ugly some things got in the second half.
Jon Machota from The Athletic here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. John, I heard clips that were edited up from our producers on the Mike McCarthy postgame press conference. So I don't know if he was asked about his end-of-game decision to throw for it to CeeDee Lamb in the end zone on third down instead of running that 40 seconds or so off the clock and taking the field goal. My thought when I saw it, jokingly, did he have the Cowboys plus 9.5 and needed that touchdown to cover? Or was it a sign that he didn't trust his defense, knowing that a touchdown ends the game, a field goal, Seattle would be able to score a touchdown to win? Was it a sign of a lack of confidence in the defense at that point? Was he asked about his decision there on third down to throw the ball?
So I don't believe he was. I watched the press conference. I didn't go to it because generally when he's speaking, Jerry's talking outside the locker room, and I usually go to Jerry. But I watched it over again, and I don't believe he was asked about it. And you could make the argument about maybe not having as much confidence in the defense and in how well Seattle was moving the ball. But no, he wasn't asked about it. And if they lose that game, that's probably one of, if not the biggest storylines of, you could have run an extra 40 seconds off. So since I wasn't there, I can't give you any inside info on that. But because I was by Jerry, I can share this with you. So when he was walking from, he takes the elevator down from his suite and then he walks by all of us before he goes in the locker room. He made a joke before he got in the locker room. Nobody said anything to him, but he said that, that was Steven's idea to throw there. And, pointing to Stephen Jones next to him, like making a joke of it. So it's clearly on Jerry's mind before he even gets in the locker room that he didn't like it. So then after he comes out of the locker room and he's talking to us, he mentioned it on 3 different occasions. One, he was asked about it, but 2 other times he brought it up on his own, just kind of making jokes about it. So read between the lines however you will. It was pretty clear to me that Jerry didn't love that play call.
Well, I don't think, anybody. I mean, we were all scratching our heads when we saw that, and obviously, if he scores a touchdown there, it's a great play, right? But the fact that Seattle had almost 2 minutes to drive down the field and try to win the football game, that was it. When you look at Jerry, though, obviously he was very happy last night, or at least all the quotes that I've seen, and he's got to be thrilled with the way this team is playing football right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, for him to say after the Washington game on Thanksgiving that this is as good as he's ever felt, including the years when they've won Super Bowls, just the feeling after the game surprised me a little. Now, of course, he meant about how much money, obviously, that was being raised for the Salvation Army and doing good beyond just on the football field, but also just the way the team was clicking. So, no, there's no question. I mean, after that game and then last year, over in Tampa Bay when they won that wild card game. I mean, you saw a Jerry Jones that believes they have a lot of pieces to, if they can get hot at the right time, finally get back to a Super Bowl. And I certainly think he feels that way now. And probably the biggest reason is just because of the way Dak has been playing. I mean, anytime Jerry's been asked about it, he's talked about how that's the best he's ever seen Dak. And not just the way the play on the field in terms of throwing the football, but just his command of the offense, the stuff he's doing, the checks, everything at the line of scrimmage, just playing with so much confidence right now. I think that's the number one reason, just I could tell from Jerry over these last few weeks of why he thinks his team's got, an opportunity as good as pretty much run.
John, when you look at the way the defense played last night, really for the first time since Diggs was hurt, I think the Cowboys defense, secondary-wise, missed them. But does that put a little bit more pressure on Jerry and Steven to try to convince Shaq Leonard to sign with Dallas this weekend and not Philadelphia?
I don't think it does, just because and now Jerry was asked about Shaq Leonard after the game, and he was asked about how he looked physically, and obviously that was one of the reasons for his visit on Tuesday, to check him out medically. And Jerry said that, they're obviously very interested in things like that, but if you just were there and just the tone Jerry was using, I just didn't get the same sense that I did during, let's say, the pursuit of Odell Beckham Jr. So I don't think that the Cowboys look at it as like, man, do you see the way the defense play? Well, we have to get Leonard now. Whatever it costs, let's go get it done. I do not get the sense that they feel that way at all. And I will say this, I'm interested to see whether he signs with the Cowboys, Eagles, or whoever. I'm interested to see how he plays, just because, I'm wondering if with the back issue and some of the other stuff, if he is on the same level that he had been in previous years. And if he's not, I don't know that you really need to, get in a bidding war for his services if he's not going to be that. Now, if he's going to be that player he's been, the previous 3-4 seasons, then by all means, you need to get in a bidding war, because he could be the difference for you to win a Super Bowl. But if he's going to come in here and be a solid first, second down linebacker, I don't think that's the thing that automatically, this is going to put you over the top, and going back to the defense, I will say that the thing that was, I think, the biggest issue yesterday for me is just the offsides, lining up offsides. Those are things that this is too much of a veteran bunch to have that happen. And those are the type of plays that those can lose you games in January.
No, there's no doubt about it. The penalties last night drove me crazy, John. I'll be honest with you. I can only
imagine the groans in the press box.
There were so many penalties. It was unbelievable. But it is what it is. And I don't think it favored either team, quite frankly. But, I mean, it is what it is. So, you mentioned Shaq Leonard. Zach Ertz is available. I have to believe that he's not even on the Cowboys' radar.
I don't believe so. I mean, with how well Jake Ferguson's playing, he continues to ascend, and just I think the way that they think about some of the other tight ends they have in the room, and they're young, I don't know that they want to have anybody kind of in their way. I don't think it's an awful move. I mean, if it doesn't cost you very much, I mean, he's a veteran player that obviously was on a team that won a Super Bowl. And I think that it would really bother the Eagles and their fans. So I think there's a lot of Cowboys fans that would be fine with it just on that perspective. But with the Eagles not having Dallas Goedert, I feel like all of this is set up for him to re-sign with the Eagles. But that would be an interesting thing for him to come to the Cowboys. I just don't think they're that interested in that.
I don't either, although, man, hey, talk about a red zone target and a guy that knows what to do in the red zone, because that's still an issue. And then I kind of go back, all right, you got two free agents. Both are linked to Philadelphia. They're not going to sign them both. If they sign Zach Ertz, that might give Shaq Leonard one option, and that might be in Dallas.
Absolutely. But I go back to the Odell thing. I know this isn't apples to apples, but there was a lot of talk at that time too about how other teams are interested, and then all of a sudden it's like Odell doesn't even play for any of the teams because it ends up not being a fit, and he probably wouldn't have been healthy anyway. So there's a part of me that wonders if any of these guys that are free agents at right now, the fit is going to be a huge part of it. And so who knows, maybe a third team gets involved. I'm not sure, but I'm just very interested in it. We sit on the outside. We're not seeing Shaq Leonard, what he's looking like behind the scenes. Like I said, if he's healthy and he's the player that he has been, then by all means you do whatever you got to do to get it done. But I really would like to see what he can do playing wise, to see if is he going to be that type of player to put him over the top. And that might be the thing that it comes down to the ultimate decision with the Cowboys and how much they're willing to spend. And then the other thing is, like with the Odell, Jerry was very open about with the Odell situation. He did not want to give him another year. He wanted to pay him for the rest of the season and then evaluate next offseason or before free agency. I think this could be the same thing here with Leonard, where they're not looking to give him more than just the rest of this season, and that might not be something that Leonard's interested in.
It's going to be interesting to follow over the weekend as he makes that decision. Next week's going to be a lot of fun with the Eagles coming to town. Next week, John, I know we kind of go through this every year. Next Friday, the Blitz will be live in Boston at the Army-Navy game on Radio Row, so we might need some flexibility next week. But one of these years, you have to make that game, man.
Oh, absolutely. No, it's going to happen for sure. Yeah, you guys have fun there. I will be flexible with whatever time you guys can work me in. It's fine with me. But, yeah, you guys have fun. One time in the next 2 or 3 years, I'm getting out there. I went to the Swamp last Saturday for the Florida State game. So that was kind of my one trip during the season. But, yeah, no, I'll definitely get out there within the next couple of years.
It's going to be fun. Jon Machota from The Athletic. Enjoy the weekend off watching college football and not having to working and write about it. Appreciate it, man. Have a great weekend.
Will do. You guys do the same.
Jon Machota from The Athletic. Make sure you subscribe to The Athletic and follow John on Twitter at Jon Machota as he joined us on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. We're live out at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road, Oregon, Washington, about to get underway here at the Roo and here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Oregon, a 9.5-point favorite in that game.
That's crazy, isn't it?
It really is. But there's some news out of Houston.
Yep.
And the Spurs are playing tonight. We'll go over all of that as we continue here on the Blitz on this Friday night. You know, when you need an electrician, Hill Electric is available to you 24/7. For both residential and commercial needs. You know, I've used Hill Electric for a variety of projects at my house through the years, especially in the new house, like extra outlets in the garage, because the builder never puts enough in there. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. Whatever your project is, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price. And never a service charge, always free estimates. So it costs you nothing to figure out what it will take to get a project done. A great locally owned, family-run business for over 3 decades. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074, 404-9074, or hill-electric.com.
It's R&R in the morning.
Monday on R&R in the morning, we're joined by ESPN NFL insider Todd Archer at 7:30. And the college football playoff is set. Who's going in and who's going home?
Crazy weekend of football, and NFL really didn't play a role but for the 49ers and Philadelphia. Man, cannot wait. The party starts at 6.
It's your wake-up call. R&R in the morning, 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides 24/7 compassionate support and connection to trained counselors. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. The Lifeline works. You are not alone. For 24/7 support, just call, text, or chat 988.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
I can't wait for what's next. Even with higher stroke risk due to atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Eliquis, the Pixaban tablets, reduces stroke risk. It's the #1 cardiologist prescribed blood thinner.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or have antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising, or if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take medicines such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Have you or a family member been arrested? The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, can help regardless of the legal battle you are facing, personal injury or criminal defense. Attorney Jesse Hernandez and his team are ready to fight for you. Calls are answered 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. Call 210-807-8656 or visit jessehernandezlaw.com. That's 210-807-8656 or jessehernandezlaw.com. The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla.
My name is Nudge. I'm gonna rap you a tune. I work at a place called Quarter Moon.
It's not that kind of rap. Folks, all of us at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC invite you to donate to Rappin' with Jack. If you'd like to donate a new toy or needed item, simply give it to any of our Quarter Moon trucks or vans you see around town, or stop by our office. For directions, visit quartermoonplumbing.com, 210-651-5899. Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC.
License number M16004, DACLA 000743458.
It's almost that time. Home for the holidays. Get your mortgage or rent paid for an entire year. Increase your chance of winning by also getting your friends entered socially. Make this holiday season the best ever. Just visit sasportstar.com and get signed up. One national winner could win up to $18,000 and pay their rent or mortgage in 2024. Official rules and sign up at sasportstar.com.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Ryan Eagle. I'm Jason Minix on this Friday afternoon out at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. Interesting news, Joe, out of the University of Houston. You know, kind of feels like, since no announcement has been made yet, that Willie Fritz is going to get the job. And there's down there at Houston, not Jeff Traylor, because well, it's just too many quiet days. If Jeff Traylor were going to get that job, Jeff Traylor could have been down there, had the press conference, and already be recruiting in the portal. So, yesterday we talked about this. It kind of felt like, all right, maybe Jeff isn't going to get the job. I think a big reason for that is the $7 million buyout that he has in his contract. Reports today say Tulane is going to do everything they can to keep Willie Fritz,
including paying him like a Big 12 coach. So obviously, either way that Fritz goes, he's going to get a nice big raise. So it just depends on what Willie wants to do, right? Does he want to go to the Big 12, go to a program like Houston, or does he want to stay where he's at? Now, what happened today with the Board of Regents that you talked about earlier, Jason, that they gave them they were meeting to give approval, and I guess they did so. So they're ready to go. I'm assuming, and they've been negotiating with whomever is going to be their pick.
And so this is what was put out by GoCougs.com, retweeted by Mike Craven of Texas Football. UH held a special Board of Regents meeting today at 2 o'clock. They immediately went into executive session, acting to give the chancellor the authority to hire a new football coach. The presenter is Tillman Fertitta.
Of course it is.
Who is the chairman.
He's the money guy.
He is certainly the money guy. And so, now granted, Tillman can reach in his wallet and give UTSA $7 million and not think twice about it if that's the guy. But it feels like, with what we've heard the last couple of days, that Jeff Traylor is getting everything he can to get UTSA up to that level, aside from getting a raise for himself, trying to get more money committed to increase the assistant coach's salary pool and some of the other staff member salary pool, work on nutrition, all the things that he talks about quite a bit. So that, while Jeff Traylor's, and I go back to something he said a couple weeks ago here on the Blitz, it's win-win when your name is in the news because your people want to keep you and they start moving a little faster to get things done. A&M flirtation, Houston, serious flirtation. If either turned it down or he's not getting it. He's second option, and we'll find out somebody else or Jeff Traylor. But it does look like, as I see it here right now, if I were to bet, Jeff Traylor's back next year, but Jeff Traylor's getting more for his staff and program.
I just wonder how much more he can get for his staff and program, and will that be enough? And we've talked about this all week with these rumors flying around that, look, he's tired of trying to, come up with every nickel and every dime. And that's got to be old. I don't know how to read this, honestly. When you see the reports of Tulane saying, look, we're going to make it very difficult on Houston to take away our head coach, especially, think about it, if Tulane goes in there tomorrow, beats SMU, and gets another conference championship, where does that play? Does that mean that Fritz has done all he can do at Tulane with a couple of conference championships? It's time to move on, or does he settle in and try to make that program relevant for years to come? It's hard to get a read on what he's thinking, what Tulane's thinking, what Traylor's thinking, and of course the University of Houston.
Well, and what I mean, you can look at this one of two ways. If Tulane ups the ante too much for Willie Fritz to make it not worth it from a financial standpoint to go get Jeff Traylor or to get him, and maybe Jeff Traylor is back in the mix if the money becomes even. One of the things that we heard from Joseph Duarte from the Houston Chronicle when he joined us earlier this week is Jeff Traylor's $7 million buyout is an obstacle. Willie Fritz's buyout is less than $1 million.
Yeah.
But if the salary increase is what Houston is offering and, other things that Tulane might do to keep Willie Fritz, maybe Willie says no, or at some point Houston might look at that and say, well, if the buyout was the reason we didn't go with Jeff Traylor, that money is kind of evened out now. So maybe Jeff Traylor becomes back into the mix. It's going to be an interesting weekend, but as soon as that game is over, I mean, as soon as that game is over, we'll have an idea of what Willie Fritz or what the University of Houston is ultimately going to do.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Jason. I think with reports now that this approval has been made, you're going to see guys like Joseph Duarte with the Houston Chronicle or the beat writer for them. Yes, Houston Chronicle. I think those things will start to leak out. It would not surprise me even before this game is over tomorrow afternoon. So be on the lookout tomorrow because I think we'll know something sooner rather than later.
Now, as we sit right now at 5:46 on a Friday, Jeff Traylor is scheduled to join us Monday at 5:15 on the Blitz.
Yes.
To talk where UTSA is going bowling because we'll find that out this weekend as well.
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, if he doesn't join us on Monday, he might be the new head coach at the University of Houston.
I'm just saying, right now we're on his schedule.
Yes.
Because right now he's going off the UTSA schedule. If he's doing a press conference in Houston, we'd still try to get him on.
Absolutely.
But, we'll see. Hey, you know what? The Spurs play tonight.
Yes, they do.
This is the AA Best Bail Bonds Game Night San Antonio on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Every game night, the Blitz with Jason and Joe get you inside and ready for tonight's game. Players, coaches, insiders. This is the AA Best Bail Bonds Game Night San Antonio.
For three, and Wembanyama put him in the friend zone.
The pregame show starts now.
Spurs in New Orleans, taking on the Pelicans without Wemby. Game Night San Antonio brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. 210-225-2121 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. No Wemby tonight, so he's going to miss his first game. Dealing with the hip, limited in minutes last night, although full disclosure, I didn't even turn it on. Where we were watching the game last night, the Spurs game was not on. Every screen was on the Dallas Cowboys, and I got home just after halftime, left at halftime, got home to see the second half, and part of that's because I'm on Prime. Makes it hard to flip back and forth the games.
Yeah, well, you got 2 TVs.
Yeah, I didn't turn the other one on.
All right. Look, it's just from what I've seen and read, the Spurs at least competed. Now, they lost
by 2,
but
Trae Young was incredible.
They were in the game. Yes, he was, but Jeremy Sohan was incredible.
Career high
last night, so he played well. Look, I don't think Spurs fans would care as much as we do now. If the Spurs are competing like that night in and night out, you get beat by 2, you get beat by 5, 6, but you're in the ball game. I think people would cut Pop and company a little more slack. It's just the way that they've been losing. Hopefully this is a trend, because I don't think Zion Williamson is playing tonight either, from what I've read. So it could be an even matchup there in New Orleans.
One of the things that, and again, because of how bad the Spurs have been playing, especially in the second half, the fact that they lost a game they probably should have won, that's not unusual. They lost by 2. They didn't get blown out. If you were at the game, you stayed till the very end. You didn't leave early. But Trae Young scored 33 points in the second half. I mean, at some point, he had 45, but 33 in the second half. At some point, you don't draw up some sort of play to do something. I mean, there's a hot hand and there's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Well, and I've got to assume Jeremy Sohan, your best defender, is on that guy, right? So, look, I don't know. I think as confused as I am, and I think other Spurs fans is as confused, because that's the way the Spurs are making it. It's just difficult. Look, Trae Young's a great player, and he's going to do that to a lot of teams. But still, I hear you. At some point in time, you got to stop this guy.
Now, Greg Popovich, and I appreciate the honesty in this quote out of the San Antonio Express News. Their execution is better all the time, but you get to a fourth quarters, the great players take over, and that's been difficult for us. Trae had his way there in the third quarter and down the stretch. Making plays for us is going to be more difficult than some other teams for a variety of reasons. And I think to a degree, he is 100% right. But their execution is better all the time. And I know they're a young team, but these guys aren't all rookies. They're young in age, but they've got years in the game. I mean, the lack of execution that we consistently see through 4 quarters. I mean, I didn't have to watch the game last night. I see the final score, and I can just guess before looking at any highlight or doing any research that the Spurs probably screwed up 4 or 5 plays in the final couple of minutes and lost that game. And guess what? They did.
Who is that go-to guy? I mean, and I don't think the Spurs have it right now, including Wemby.
Yeah.
Who is that guy? There is not that one guy that you could say, all right, put us on your back and let's go, the way the Atlanta Hawks did last night with Trae Young. I don't know. And development with what we're seeing, Pop's obviously got a plan. Who's that guy going to be, or is that guy here yet? And that's the other thing. Is it going to be somebody that's not even on the team that comes in next year? They revamp things and go from there. But it's just, I feel bad for myself as a Spurs fan and other Spurs fans having to endure another season like we're having to endure.
Well, and again, it's the defensive part that cost them last night, giving up 137 points.
Well, it's been that way all season, basically.
But they've had nights where they're piss poor on defense and piss poor on offense. Last night they were good offensively. Vassell with 25 off the bench. Keldon had 22. Wemby had 21. You had Jeremy Sohan. What was he? 12 of 14, 14 of 16. Missed 2 shots. I mean, Jeremy had his best game of the year. and you got a couple of guys not in double figures but in the 20s, and you lose. I mean, and Greg Popovich, who made his mark as a defensive guru, a defensive coach, seems okay with it because we're young.
At some point in time, when are you not okay with it? And that's baffling. Again, we've seen Greg Popovich at his I don't want to say worst, but at his strongest, I guess, is a good way to put it, as far as taking care of these guys and teaching them and yelling at them and making sure they're in the right spot, to going to this, grandpa pop that is, come sit in the rocking chair, let's have milk and cookies.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's just kind of, it's frustrating to me.
It's kind of, I'll have an eye on the Spurs tonight just because, I did feel bad that I missed them last night.
Did you really? You feel bad?
I mean, a little bit. I want to see them.
Yeah, whatever.
No, it's like I'm interested this year. Last year I wasn't. I'm interested this year. But I'm more interested in the Pac-12 Championship game tonight between the Ducks and the Huskies. That game, to me, I'll pay attention. I saw a Facebook friend of mine posted he was watching the Cowboys game on his phone while sitting at the Frost Bank Center because you shelled out all that money for season tickets. You're not missing the game. But I think he was more interested in watching his phone than watching the action in front of him. Spurs at New Orleans tonight. Game night San Antonio. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121 or online, mybestbailbonds.com. Fun day here at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. Great place to come watch all the action tonight and this weekend with all the conference championship games. Don't forget, tonight you've got the Pac-12 Championship game here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. That pregame coverage is next here on San Antonio Sports Star. Oh, did I finish early, Pledge? Oh, we got 5 more seconds.
All hell is going to break loose.
The Jim Rome Show.
And the fact is, to me, this guy's gone from screaming smack to preaching truth.